Good evening and welcome to another night of Benedictine football. I'm Kevin Thomas. He's Christian Gokel as we get ready for the home opener tonight from Memorial Stadium, Benedictine and Burke County. Glad you are with us here on WatchBCSports.com as we get ready for the home opener here this evening. Cadets sitting at 0-2. Burke County comes in at 2-0. I think vastly different schedules. Christian Gokel, quite frankly, from what these two teams have played, but a chance to get back home in front of the home crowd. I know you talked with Coach Britt prior to the game. We'll hear that coming up in just a little bit, but obviously a chance to get back home inside Memorial Stadium, play in front of the home crowd, and build upon what started to show up against Buford last week.
Yeah, Kevin, and I think biggest thing for the Cadets tonight, I don't think they care how they get it, whether it's 3-0 or 70-67, a win. You got to walk out of the stadium with a win tonight just to get some momentum going into what now is going to be kind of an extended stretch of a couple of bye weeks in a row just because of the Ohio game and the situation there. So it's so crucial that they come out, execute tonight, like you said, build off of what they were able to show in that Buford game, but more importantly, just find a way, regardless of the situation, to come out with a win. It's going to be so big going into that bye week, and it's just it gets all of that pressure off your back.
This is the Barnes Catering pregame show. Pit Cook Barbecue since 1975. BarnesRestaurant.com to place your next catering order. And got those game day specials there at Barnes Barbecue. I think Christian and I could annihilate some of those.
I was going to say, they're made for families. I think I could take down one by myself.
We're a broadcast family here as well. But Burke County, obviously a lot of familiarity with this program. BC's played the Bears quite a bit here in recent years. Familiarity amongst the coaches.
Yes.
Danny Britt, Franklin Stevens, teammates at Georgia Southern. Both have been coaches for a long time here in the state of Georgia, so familiarity from that standpoint. However, as you said, Franklin Stevens, one of the great mastermind coaches, in that he's going to play hard-nosed defense, and he's very malleable to what he wants to do with his football team based on the talent. They've kind of gone back to the wing T here. So if you followed Camden, some of his time at Tucker when he was going deep, Lamar County with some of those, Ware County, everywhere he's been a winner, and now going back to that wing T here at Burke County.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned number one, him and Danny very familiar with each other even from their college days, and it goes back to kind of that Irk Russell mindset where do the simple things perfect first, and then you kind of spread out from there to try to make your team under your identity. But football is really simple. It's about blocking on offense, making plays, running the football, and then on defense it's about not letting them run the football, not letting them make plays. So it's really simple, and if you can do that stuff really well, you're usually going to have a really good football team. Both of these coaches preach that. They don't skip the basics. It's drill the fundamentals, and then kind of incrementally put your identity in there. And I think what Franklin Stephen has seen since he got to Burke County is we are going to be more competitive with teams that have more talent than us if we can be really good at those little things and then play an offense that not a lot of people see anymore. It's ball control. You're not going to get away from the downs. You're usually going to be in that 2nd and 7 or even picking up first downs, but never going to be behind the chains. So just looking at this wing T and the way that this team has played, almost put up 100 points through 2 games, and they haven't given up 20 points yet. I think 9 and 6 are the 2 different scores, the amount of points they've allowed. So playing really good on offense, ball control, scoring when they have the football, and keeping the other team on their side of the field.
And this is a proud program, obviously, their football tradition. And as you talked with Coach at his coaches show this week, he said, look, not a lot of coaches at the high school level are big on, big time adjustments. He said last year we shut down the run, then they came out and started throwing it. Not an offensive change, but just what they were focused on doing, and we had problems.
Yeah.
And so a guy that's not willing, or that is not so stuck in his ways that he can't say, let's toss the playbook away right now and let's do something that works in this moment. And they did that against BC and put up some big numbers, made a comeback on BC. Didn't win the game, but I think put the fear in the Cadets last week. We thought this was in the bag, and they came back on us. So something tonight where you're going to get a physical team, but if it's not working, he's also not afraid to change it up mid-game and say, hey, let's find what works and go with it.
No, and they practice that. And one of the biggest things we spoke about during the Danny Britt show and just throughout this week is it's a wing T offense, and it's going to be about 75% run. It's the 25%. It's not going to be a straight drop back. It's going to look just like they're running another power play, and all of a sudden that quarterback's going to pull up, take a big 5-step drop, and as a defensive back, there is a really good chance if you look behind you, there's going to be a guy running 20 yards behind you wide open. So it's just going to be eye discipline in the secondary. But to your point about not banging his head against the wall, Franklin Stevens is a really good coach. And if BC comes out and it's just for 2 quarters, they're able to just completely stuff the run, they're going to try to get outside a little bit, sling the football around. They're going to try to throw it over the top. So BC is going to have to be able to play for all 4 quarters, because just looking at this Burke County team, even if you didn't know anything about them, there's a lot of big dudes out there. There's a lot of fast guys out there. So BC is not going to be able to just come out and out-physical them. They're going to have to out-execute, win the line of scrimmage, and do it for all 4 quarters.
That's not all bird dogging in Waynesboro out there.
No.
They can play some football.
They do that too, though.
But you got the team now in BC that I think offensively found themselves a little bit. I think week 1 didn't look like a BC team. They looked like, if you picked a play in the playbook, no confidence that they could run it in that game. Last week, a lot of confidence in some of the what you have said, the staples of the offense. A lot of things that you said, that's a BC play.
Yeah.
We see it all the time. They were executing, able to run it. And I thought you and I both said on the broadcast last week, Stephen Cannon, big step forward. Sure. Everybody has that moment of maturity where you're like, okay, he gets it. He's settled in, and he's making plays. And second half, he played really well. Even the 4th down they didn't make, he put a bullet right on the receiver, just couldn't hang on, and probably would have been close, but could have been a first down drive extended. So made some big-time plays for the first time in his career in a big moment, under pressure, and was getting the job done offensively.
Yeah, I think maybe the thing we don't talk about enough is the confidence, not just between the quarterback and the players out there executing, but between the offensive coordinator and what he's calling. A.J. DePhillips has really put out a bunch of different, kind of a wide variety of offenses, because he's had a wide variety of players since he's been the offensive coordinator here at Benedictine. You have a Holden Garner who's going to be more of a traditional drop back passer, spread it out. Luke Cromenhawk last year, you're going to get him involved in the run game a little bit, but also it matters who the cast of characters are around those guys. So this year, I think what we saw in the Rayburn Gap game, and then what we saw start to develop late in the second quarter into the second half against Buford, was he's finding the right buttons to press with this team. It's not just the quarterback. It's maybe you don't have that X receiver who's just going to be able to win one-on-one balls down the sideline, but you have 3 or 4 guys who are around 6 feet, who are really fast and shifty, who can win over the middle. Or you have a quarterback who's more comfortable throwing to the outside right now than he is throwing over the middle. You're finding the buttons to press, and then from there, everything else will open up. You need about 3 or 4 plays on a consistent basis that you feel comfortable calling, and then from there, you're going to let the defense and what they're doing dictate what you're calling. This team has staples: the buck sweep, the toss out of the I formation, the bubble screens, the big time. They got some cover 2 beaters where they'll send a guy over the middle, and then a guy about 5 yards behind him will come over the top. We've seen it time and time again where they'll jump one of those routes, you dump it to the other guy. So you have to find those 4 or 5 plays that your team is really comfortable with running, hammer those, and then let everything else open up.
We're coming to you here from Memorial Stadium. First time in the regular season here on WatchBCSports.com as we're counting you down towards kickoff between, if you want to say it this way, BC and BC, Benedictine and Burke County. And we'll continue on with our Barnes Catering pregame show right after this on WatchBCSports.com.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com. Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com. Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rankin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rankin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rankin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes. Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium on the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Barnes Catering, Pit Cook Barbecue, since 1975. We can go for some of that right here.
Always.
As well. BarnesRestaurant.com to place your next catering order, and check them out for those game day specials as well at Barnes Restaurant. Speaking of game day specials, Christian Gotel, I would imagine first couple minutes of this ball game, offensively and defensively, you're at home. You'd like to make something happen just as a build upon from last week and get in the end zone.
Yeah, I think one of the things I'll be watching for today is you can't press just because the big plays haven't been there so far this year, right? You haven't really hit the long pass down the middle so far. You haven't had a running back really break one yet. Let it come to you. Trust where your guys are blocking. Trust where your receiver is supposed to be. Read your keys, and it's going to be there. You just got to come out, execute the game plan. And we saw against Buford, if you just come out, take what the defense gives you, you can move the ball consistently down the field if you're BC. Do that tonight, and you're going to have some of those plays open up.
Is that the thing that maybe surprising? Maybe that's a byproduct of who you're playing, but we just haven't seen those explosion plays that we normally see from BC. And I don't mean they haven't had any, but normally you're good for 4 or 5 a game where it's just like they executed. Sure. It was blocked nicely. They busted it. It's 30 yards downfield. Haven't seen a lot of those. Saw a few more against Buford, but even that was more methodical drives down the field. You didn't have a lot of game-changing busted plays. You had a pick 6, but offensively, I'm speaking of, you didn't have a lot of those. It's blocked beautifully. They hit the corner and gone for 25, 30 yards.
I think that's more credit to the teams you're playing. A lot of times in high school, it's not so much that you executed great. It might just be a busted assignment, whether it's somebody didn't fill a gap, somebody jumped the wrong way on the line, safety didn't come up and play support or didn't switch off right. We saw that. BC had that a bunch against Raven Gap, where it wasn't so much that Raven Gap was just elite over the middle throwing the football. It's you weren't switching where you're supposed to, so you're leaving a guy wide open across the middle. So a lot of times in high school, that's where you're going to get your big plays. You play 2 teams that aren't going to mess up, so you're going to have to move the ball methodically down the field. And honestly, I think that's more of a credit and probably makes you feel a little bit better if you're able to consistently move the football down a field against a team that isn't giving you the easy stuff and you're having to hit it into tight gaps and windows. That, I think, is one of the biggest takeaways from that Buford game. Tonight, hopefully, you're able to find some of those gaps where maybe somebody steps the wrong way once and it's just lethal.
A couple of things to watch that I think, again, continuing on last game. Offensive line, you have 4 guys still that have played a lot of football. You got the left tackle over there that's going to make start number 2 tonight. That's going to be Gavin Smith. Start number 2. Obviously, if you want to stair stack it down, you got thrown out there against a team up here. Your first start was against a team that was probably half a scooch below
25
them.
In the nation.
And now you come down, no disrespect to Burke County, but you're probably not going up against a D1 defensive end tonight, play in and play out. How big of a difference does that get for him? It's like, hey, you've seen about as good as you could see in the first 2 weeks. Settle in, and you can get the job done.
And we always talk about, hey, you got to be ready, right? Just the things parents say to their kids when they're playing football or any sport, but it's just, hey, I know you're not starting, but you got to stay ready. It's almost impossible to do. When you're the starter, you're going through a whole different set of warm-ups. You're in a different mindset, regardless of how good of an athlete or how mentally strong of a person you are. Coming off the bench into a war and just being able to immediately settle in is a very, very rare talent to have. And so having that full week of practice before Buford, we saw what Gavin was able to do. I thought he had a great game. I don't think we called his name a lot at all. And you don't want to be calling your offensive lineman's name. Another week of practice as the starter, I think is just going to be bigger. And here's the thing. The dude's 240, 260 pounds, depending on the day, however much Coach Brett really worked him out under the sun and how much he sweat. But not an average-sized human being. That's a big dude. That's the size most high schools are hoping for at their left tackle. It just so happens that the guy was playing in front of him weighed over 300 pounds. So it's not like he is a small tackle. He's a big tackle. It's just now he has had the chance to practice for a couple weeks, has played a game as a starter. I just think you're going to see him and the rest of the line continue with an upward trajectory.
We're going to step aside here from Memorial Stadium. We'll come back. We'll hear from Coach Danny Britt here in the Barnes Restaurant pregame show as we're counting it down towards Burke County and Benedictine. This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show on WatchBCSports.com.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports. BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Rooms 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Welcome back here to the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. Kevin Thomas, Christian Gokill here as we get ready for BC and Burke County tonight in a non-region game. But the first home game, it feels like we've been playing football a lot already. Just the first home game and only 4 home games tonight or this season for BC. Hopefully in the playoffs you get a few more, but this the first of 4 home games here for BC. So take advantage of these while you're here. They're special.
Absolutely. And again, playing in front of your home crowd, getting to get out of school at a normal time, spend some time relaxing, recovering, getting stretched out, meeting with the trainer, sitting in your own locker room, it just makes such a big deal. I mean, it's tired legs regardless of how many times you stop driving from Savannah to North Atlanta. So a chance to come out and show what you're truly capable of tonight.
Christian had a chance to chat with the head football coach of the Benedictine Cadets, Danny Britt, before this one and get his thoughts on tonight's ball game with the Burke County Bears.
Coach, first home game of the season. First off, it's got to be nice just getting out of school today, regular pace, and getting over to the stadium.
Yeah, definitely glad to be home, glad to not have to make an extremely long bus trip and all of those accommodations, and hopefully we have a big crowd and, kind of enjoy that.
Coming off a really tough loss, 1-point loss there to Buford, what's the mindset been like around the team this week?
Yeah, it's been really good. I think the guys understand who we played to this point and know that, it's been a difficult road. Certainly know we had every opportunity to win that game and feel like we should have, but we move forward, and it's always, I think, easier for kids to do it because they get to go to work, physically work and get better, and so it's been a good week.
A physical football team coming in here in Burke County. What are some of the keys to slowing down that running attack?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we gotta read our keys, have great eye discipline, and tackle, be physical tacklers, and then in the secondary not let them lull us to sleep and hit a big play. So we do that, we should be able to slow them down enough to where we can gain some advantage.
What's it going to take to come out with a win today?
We've got to do just that, and then be able to move the ball offensively and put points on the board. I know that sounds simple, but that's what it is.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Coach Danny Britt talking to you pregame, and obviously he wants to play a tough schedule, and I don't think he will say this publicly. Hey, that's why you play good people, but they want to get one in the win column tonight for sure. That's very important at the end of the day.
And again, going into back-to-back bye weeks. I mean, it was going to be going into a bye week, but going into 2 weeks off, you don't want to be sitting there chewing on 3 straight losses to start the season, potentially 4 straight losses going back to last season. I was talking to Dennis Knight for the Savannah Morning News earlier. I can't remember the last time BC lost 4 games in a row. Obviously, there are circumstances, right? Everything's relevant, right? But you want to go into those bye weeks with a win. That just makes practice a whole lot easier. If you're having to chew on that for, that'd be like 14, 15 practices between now and the next game, there could be some chippiness, and that's hard for anybody to handle.
That's obviously you want to get that first one out of the way. And he said it after the game last week. He goes, I told the guys we're not losing anymore. That's a heck of a thing to say to your team. That's confidence in your team, but that's a heck of a thing to say to your team, and they feel good about where they're at and where they're headed. I think it's one of those, Christian, we've kind of seen all the sports cliches in 3 weeks with this BC team. Scrimmage,
sure,
you're never as good as you look. Raven Gap, you're probably never as bad as you look. And then last week, that's probably more the team we expect to see against most people night in and night out. And you're not going to face very many on that level of Buford most of the time in high school football in the state of Georgia.
Most teams aren't, but now my question is, are you able to get up at that same energy level?
Sure.
I mean, the cadets were firing from the jump. Buford came out firing too, and they put up 10 points on you quick, but you were able to answer with your own points there and score 3 unanswered touchdowns. So can you come out with that same level of intensity against a team and not let this – and if you know high school football, and I'm sure Coach Britt and the staff have been preaching this, Burke and Franklin Stevens, those are not things that you take lightly, right?
Sure.
The school and the coach, you just don't take them lightly when you're playing football against them. But it's not Buford, right? It doesn't carry that same weight, right? You get to play in front of your home crowd. You're playing a really good football team. You got to come out flying around, got to come out with energy. You have to be desperate for a win. Was it Kirby Smart call it? Just eat off the floor. Like you that's how hungry you have to be, that you will eat off the floor.
I don't know if I've ever been that hungry to eat off the floor, but
it depends.
We'll see. We'll see
what
happens.
Price of daggum hot dogs these days.
You may have to go eat off the floor. But okay, you got obviously we've talked about this offensively and defensively. Obviously, this is the first time a lot of folks will see a real contest in person here in 2024. Unless you made the trip to Statesboro, I think we both said, hey, the scrimmage was kind of vanilla. Chance for the crowd to make an impact here tonight and get behind this team. You're used to winning. Stay behind this team and kind of help them get to that first win.
Yeah, and again, it's one of 4 times you're going to be able to get to see this team at home. You obviously want to win every game in the region, but this is a really talented region. There is a distinct possibility that if you're BC, you could be playing on the road a lot in the postseason. So this is one of your 4 guaranteed chances to come out and see a really talented football team a lot. And I know the BC family, the culture, you wait all year to get out and experience these nights. It needs to be absolutely packed out. Absolutely.
And again, you talk about that region real quick, Christian. People talk about, hey, BC this has gone out and played a lot of tough teams. There's a team in Waycross, which we'll see in about a month. They started off, they played Appling, who was in the state semifinals in AA last year. They played Coffee County, defending state champ, in 6A, to a one-score game last week. And tonight they're over in Bainbridge playing a team in Bainbridge that's usually really, really good. So they also are taking the road. They're taking the road less traveled, if you will, in terms of playing non-region schedules. So this is a tough region, and I don't think a lot of these teams that are projected to be at the top have been taking it lightly out of region as well. So you can look at some of these scores and say, hey, where's 1-1? Played 2 really good teams. BC's 0-2. It means nothing in the quality of football team that you have so far.
No, and again, I think they all had kind of the same mindset is we are going to be in for a dogfight in our region. We got to go schedule some games that get us ready for that. And you mentioned the teams that they're out there playing, but for BC, it's that same sort of mindset. You got to come out and start winning some of these. We talked about at the end of the game last week is you did everything you needed to do to win that football game except win it.
Right.
And winning it is a skill acquired in and of itself. Talking to Coach Britt this week, you don't inherit that from the people that came before you. Luke Cromenhawk's wins are Luke Cromenhawk's wins. There's a great Mike Leach speech about that with Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree. There's a flavorful language in that one, but it's just because you are putting on that Benedictine helmet and you have BC on your chest doesn't mean you're going to win football games when it's close. You have to be the one who goes out there and makes it happen. Nothing is passed down from one class to the next. So I think this team's biggest challenge right now, they have all the talent in the world. Can you go out there and be the Benedictine team that finishes teams?
This is the Barnes Restaurant pregame show. We'll come back, get you ready for a kickoff here. Barnes Restaurant, Barnes Catering. Since 1975, Pit Cook Barbecue, barnesrestaurant.com to place your next catering order, Christian Gokel. Those game day specials, they do a great job there at Barnes Barbecue. Also want to remind folks, if you're joining us, obviously it's the only place you can join us right here, Watch BC. This is a home game, so while you can see me and Christian right now, when it comes to game time, per the request of Benedictine, we're going audio only for the home games here this year. So, again, if you wonder where we went, we didn't go anywhere, but we're just audio only for the home game. So I know we always get a lot of questions in the chat about that during the game of what happened to the video. Nope, video is fine. We just aren't showing it for the home game. So we'll come right back. We'll be audio only, let you know how it's going down here at BC as we get ready for the opening kickoff when we come back. This is Cadets Football on WatchBCSports.com, and we are built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Go sit out there.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. The captains are out on the field. Captains for tonight's game, Marquis Williams for BC. Also, Alden Swift, and it looks like number 28, Caden Johnson, who is not dressed out, but in his BC uniform. There are three seniors and your three captains for tonight's ball game as they're out with the coin toss. Cadets are wearing their all grays tonight with the maroon numbers trimmed up in white. Burke County in white tops with black pants, blue letters and numbers, bears across the chest, and those silver helmets with the bear paw on it. Coin flip is up. It looks like Burke County has won the toss. Let's see what they decide to do. They're going to they won the toss. They're going to defer. So BC is going to get the football first. Franklin Stevens going to put his defense out there first as well. So Christian Gokel, we'll see A.J. DePhillips and his offense first up.
And a chance for Stephen Cannon and that offense to kind of build on what they were able to show against Buford. And Kevin, one guy I think to watch out for, sophomore Stanley Smart, just a freak of an athlete, and he was starting to get a little bit more yardage last week. Can we see him bust one and show off that 10-6 speed?
Absolutely. So we're getting ready. Handshakes all around. Burke County running out on the field. Cadets running out on the field. We're coming right back for kickoff. We're built by Rinkin Ace Hardware. This is WatchBCSports.com.
Tradition, honor, a culture of excellence. This is Benedictine Cadets football. Built by helpful Rinkin Ace Hardware, your locally owned and operated Ace Hardware. Tonight, live from the home of the Cadets, Memorial Stadium in Savannah, your Benedictine Cadets welcome the Burke County Wolves. Now, here's your hosts, Kevin Thomas and Christian Gokel.
And we welcome you here to Memorial Stadium. Burke, BC, Bears, Cadets getting ready to go down here at Memorial Stadium. First home game for BC. Again, Cadets in all gray tonight. I know Christian likes these uniforms, but when they start sweating, it makes it a little difficult sometimes.
Who are you saying likes these uniforms? I am Mr. Tradition, and I actually think, not to get off on a tangent as the game gets started, but I actually think these are going to be illegal here in a couple years in the GHSA.
No grays?
You know, not the grays. It's going to be, you can't have dark on dark for the colors, for the numbers on the colors. So.
Oh, well, would help this broadcaster out immensely. Also, Burke County black pants.
It's the Kevin Thomas rule.
White tops and blue letters and numbers, bears across the chest, silver helmet tonight for Burke County as well. They're going to kick it off from left to right. It'll be Will Lovett to do the kicking for the Burke County Bears. Bubba Frazier back deep, and it looks like Stanley Smart. So a lot of speed back there. Let's see if the Bears kick it off to him. Waiting for the officials to tell us we can play football. Officials finally have said we can play football tonight. Helmets in the air here on the near sideline. Everybody ready to go. Will Lovett waiting for the okay. And now we're ready. Lovett comes forward. And he will squib it right down the middle. Going to be picked up at the 25, 30, across the 32 through the 35 is going to be Jack Gannum on the return. And BC in great field position here to get things started. 1st and 10. That'll bring up Stephen Cannon and the offense. Junior quarterback. 6'2", about 210 pounds for BC as they'll trot it out here against this Burke County defense. Again, kind of a step up in their showing offensively last week. And they're looking to build upon that. They'll come out with trips here to the near side. One receiver to the top of the screen. Smart kind of pseudo pistol here off of Cannon. They'll give it to Smart. He'll come ahead off the left side. String it out. The Bears and Smart going to fall ahead across the 35 to the 36. But nicely defended by Burke County that time. And just not much doing trying to get to the edge on 1st down. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9. They actually push him ahead. I guess they counted the bounce and gave him the 37.
I think he reached the arm out there.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah, just a good gang tackling. I think he might have broken the 1 tackle, but 3, 4 the Bears show up there and make the tackle. Nice play.
Cadets go flex bone. Now they'll move Lily, a tight end, over to the right side. Here's the end around to Bubba Frazier, and did not block that well, did BC. And off that right side, shooting the gap, was one of those middle linebackers, Caden Braceley. And it'll be 3rd and 10.
If there's one thing that you really feel like Burke's going to be able to defend well, it's the side-to-side run game. I mean, they are a wing T football team. That's something they have seen plenty of in practice.
Now they'll empty the backfield. No, Smart's going to stand off to the left side. Nope. Now I'll go to now back to the left. I think Cannon's got him separated. 4 wides, twins to either side. Here's the snap. Cannon looking all kinds of time. Goes over the middle. Bubba Frazier a little too high. Had him at the Burke County 40. If that ball's half a foot lower, that's a catch and a 1st down, but BC's going to have to punt the football.
That's a catch and a touchdown, and I think he just kind of pulled a string on it a little bit, floated it, Kevin, and I think just stepping into that pass and delivering a strike, it's a touchdown. He was open. Wide open, yeah.
So that'll bring on Connor Ferguson, and maybe an under-talked about part of his game has been the punting this year for BC, and he's punted probably a lot more than even he thought he was going to have to. Here's a kick, high hanging spiral. Fair catch going to be called for at the Burke County 23-yard line. So another beautiful punt. 42-yarder for Connor Ferguson. And that's where Burke County will take over 1st and 10.
Kevin, I know you can go 3 and out there, but positives from the offense. You got a little bit of push in the run game the first play, go backwards on the second play, but you had a wide open touchdown that you just missed on 3rd down.
So here is Burke County. They'll start out of the gun and just a straight ahead give. BC going to read. No, miss a tackle up the middle to the 2nd level before Amare Williams is brought down. That's going to be tackle made by Makai Williams, but not before they get a big 1st down, or they're going to say he's short by 3 inches.
No, they're going to move
a 1st down. So not the straight wing tee, but out of a shotgun.
And same premises. I mean, and just instead of having the quarterback under center, you're back in a shotgun, but it's basically the same thing. But broke a couple tackles there, able to pick up a 1st down.
And Sean Van Diver, the quarterback, junior quarterback, he gets way down under center. And now they back to the wing tee, a little buck sweep off the left side. BC reads that well. Nice open field tackle. Who is that? Number 1, JoJo Sutton, curling up off the right side. And again, BC sees that buck sweep a lot too.
If there's one thing BC is going to be able to defend pretty well, it's that play right there. Just under center, handed the football off quick on the buck sweep. BC there playing contained. Nice job there on the second play.
So it'll be 2nd down and 9. 9:40 to go here in the 1st quarter. Clock rolls. And it'll be 2nd down 9. Again, Burke's going to be very deliberate at times on offense, running that flex bone, that wing tee.
Yeah, they want to keep BC off the field as long as possible.
And it kind of made a change. Now the little quick huddle. They'll go up to the line. Another buck sweep off to the right side. And BC going to be late getting there and pushing ahead. Close to a first down is Kelvon Scott. And he's going to have a first down. And that was the old Auburn muddle huddle where they turn around and jump under center real quick, Christian, and snap the football.
Right, and BC trying to do too much there on the defensive front. They had guys moving from left to right trying to switch. When you see that muddle huddle come out, you just got to line up and go with what the original call was.
Here's now much more deliberate. They'll come out wing teed, an extra tight end in the ball game. And now they'll play action out of that. Here's Van Diver rolling here to the near side, looking, has a man too strong. And he was looking for Kelvon Scott a little too far out there, and it's going to be second down and 10.
Yeah, Mekhi Williams there in coverage, Kevin, and that was one of the keys we talked about when they do those big play actions. It was nothing but run, and then they hit a big play fake. You have to be disciplined in the secondary. BC had both of the routes covered up, and I think Mekhi Williams was kind of trying to bait the quarterback, made it look like the guy had gotten behind him, but he was right in that hip pocket. He wanted him to throw it.
Has a little closing speed is what you're trying to say. Now they'll move back to the shotgun, trips to the top of the formation, one here to the near side. A little bubble screen underneath. Flag comes out, read well, and going nowhere. That was JoJo Sutton, just hit him right in the chest and shoved him back. Without the penalty, it'll be a loss of 1, so depending on what this is, maybe you take the play and make it 3rd and 11.
If I had to say, it's either somebody who's covered up, an eligible receiver, or something formation against Burke.
With a flex bone wing T team, I think you take the play and make it 3rd and 11. 2nd and 15 is probably not helping
out.
They can
turn that into 3rd and 8 really quick.
False start against Burke County. See if Danny Britt declines it.
Yeah,
he's going to take the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 11. Which, again, I think if it was if you're playing a Ware County, you probably take the penalty. If you're playing a wing T team, I think you make it 3rd down and make them throw the football, which they don't really want to do.
Right. And again, when you see trips against a team like this, you have to assume now in today's football that it's going to be some kind of a screen like that. And that time they just try to throw a quick bubble screen there. What you do have to be careful of, though, Kevin, they can come back to that later. They saw how aggressive you are. It's a play BC runs all the time, hit a wheel route over the top.
So here's Van Diver out of a shotgun, trips here to the near side. Low snap, he digs it out, going to have to tuck it and run it. And makes a man miss. There's a flag. That's coming back. It'll be 4th down and 5, but a hold.
Anyway. Yeah.
Hold's going to bring it back. And I think if you're Danny Britt, maybe you take it and just push field position if you think you can stop him on 3rd down and flip field position. If not, it'll be 4th and 5, and you're on the plus 50 for Burke. Might think about going for it.
I was going to say, I think 4th and 5 is definitely danger zone. So I'd take that penalty, push him back.
And the hold was thrown all the way back in the line of scrimmage. So this is going to be 3rd and 22. Yeah. Not the position anybody wants to be in, much less a team that probably only wants to throw it 10 to 12 times a game. So put it back to the 33. They need the BC 46 for a first down.
Now you got to watch out for underneath screens, tunnel screens, just stuff that can bust big and open. I think it's going to be something quick here.
So first time I got to say this, it'll be 3rd and Waynesboro here for the Bears. A long ways to go. Here's Van Diver looking for something quick. Nothing doing. 3rd, Scroggins going to wrap him up. Bring him down at the 30-yard line, and the big dog was eating there. And it'll be 4th down, and BC going to get the ball back.
Yeah, very clearly a passing situation, and I think one of the keys for Burke has to be we can't go one-on-one with 3rd Scroggins in that situation. Right tackle got put out on an island against an elite pass rusher there in 3rd, and he went to work.
So it will be Lovett doing the punting as well here for Burke County. BC employing the double safeties back there. High, short punt. Fair catch. Did they give him enough room?
I don't think so, but they're not going to
call it.
No
flag coming out. Bubba Frazier caught it in between 2 Burke County bodies at the 48. And that's where BC, they're going to mark him back at the 47. I mean, if you gave Stanley Smart the bounce, you got to give Bubba the fall forward there.
If I had to say, we probably just had a bad angle. I think they gave them some room between them to catch it, but yeah, that was close. You got to, what do they call it, the shield?
Yeah,
you got to
the catch shell, yeah.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 here for BC. Again, they work right to left here in quarter number 1.
And we saw pretty immediately when you spread them out, that's not Burke's comfort zone. So BC coming immediately back out with a 2 wide set on both sides.
They'll put a man in motion. It's Jack Ganem right to left. Here's the snap. Cannon, they're going to run the reverse. This is JoJo Sutton off the right side. He's got room into BC territory.
Corner
40, 35,
yet.
30. They're still going. What? Blocking downfield. 15, 10. He falls down, trips over his feet at the 5. It's going to be first and goal. And who was that blocking downfield? Just had their man locked up. And JoJo Sutton goes 50 yards down inside the 5-yard line.
I think that was Washington, number 7, on the block, but outstanding downfield blocking. Burke County loses contain, and he just had a caravan blocking for him down the field. Just not able to beat that final guy, but that is a huge gain for BC.
And they ran the reverse that time and made one man miss, and JoJo Sutton had nothing but green grass and fake grass, but green grass in front of him. They're going to spot the ball
right at the 5.
Just inside, I think. So first and goal from here. 7-17.
Pumping the play clock.
And BC in the wing tee. Or the flex, I should say. They send Bubba Frazier way out in motion, maybe to read the defense. Are they going to reset? Got plenty of time. Bubba's going to come back and get set at that payback spot.
I think that was a busted play. I think they wanted to try to throw it out to him.
Yeah, now here's the toss sweep to Bubba Frazier. Cuts back inside. 3, 2, 1. Did he get in? Yes, he did. 5-yard touchdown run. Bubba Frazier and the Cadets are on the board with 6:57 to go in the first. And we talked about, hey, where are those chunk plays we're used to seeing? Well, they got a big one there on first down and got down inside the 5 and punched it in.
Yeah, Kevin, a huge play there for the Cadets and just overpowering them on the inside. BC able to step up there and make a big play, scored a touchdown. This guy feels so good, Kevin. Got a lead early in a game, not having to play from behind.
Connor Ferguson set to tack on the point after. Snap is good. Connor puts it right through the pipes. It's 7-0 BC. We're coming right back. This is Cadets football, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware on WatchBCSports.com.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
A 54-yard drive puts BC on the board. They lead at 7-0 over Burke County. Connor Ferguson will kick this right to left. Again, towards the, if you're familiar with Memorial Stadium, the open end of Memorial Stadium. And Connor puts his foot into this one, and that one is way back there and going to be a touchback. So 1st and 10 from the 24, Burke County. And again, Christian, what a way to start for BC on their second offensive possession.
Yeah, Kevin, and again, it was execution. You have them flowing all the way to the left, you reverse it back out, have a big play, and then just the fact that you're able to come in and hammer the football for a 5-yard touchdown there against a team that defends the run really well. The execution on that drive, we finally got that big play that we were talking about. That's going to be big going forward for the Cadets with their confidence.
So 1st and 10 for Burke County. Van Diver out of a shotgun. He'll ride the belly, keep it straight ahead. He's going to have a first down and more. 35 and brought down. That was Estabrook coming up from a safety spot to make the tackle at the Burke County 36-yard line, and that was a huge run.
Yeah, just a veer. They send a man in motion. Quarterback kind of rides him. If that defensive tackle kind of flows with that play, the quarterback pulls it, runs it right up the middle. It's a play Cam Newton, very famous for from his time at Auburn.
And they ran that to perfection. Now they'll go out of the gun. They've got an H-back up to the left. Here's the snap. It'll be an inside give. This is Williams coming off the right side, and he'll be brought down by Isaiah Jones, but not before he gets 8 yards on first down, and they're getting it in chunks here off the run game.
That's a great job by the H-back coming out, number 9 from the backfield, and just sealing the edge right there. The running back did a nice job of kind of jump cutting and riding around the edge and able to pick up 8 yards on the play.
So 2nd down, maybe a long 2. Just inside 3 yards to go. And now Twins here to the short side with a tight end to the short side off the near hash. They'll put a man in motion. Van Diver out of a shotgun, a quick out into the flat. BC reads it, misses a tackle, and falling ahead is Amari Williams. He's going to be very close. I think they're going to give him the first down. Yep, they do.
Yeah, jet a man out in motion, and all of a sudden they have you outnumbered on the outside, 2 versus 1. That was a nice job by the safety right there for BC, making an open field tackle, limited what could have been a big gain to just a couple of yards.
So 1st and 10 from the Bears 47. Certainly the farthest they've gone in their 2 drives here early on. 5:35 to go in the first. Out of a shotgun, empty set here. They'll throw it near side. It's going to be caught by Carter inside BC territory and pulled out of bounds by Makai Williams.
Yeah, they're just playing a numbers game right now. BC kind of sitting in a cover 2 shell there, Kevin, and they had a safety. BC has a safety way back 15 yards off. They were too wide. They're just going to throw the ball out there because they have 2 receivers against 1 corner, able to pick up big chunk yardage.
They're going to give them the first down.
I think BC is going to have to. I know they want to keep 2 safeties back, but against this style of offense where they're just eating underneath, you're going to have to drop one of those safeties in the box.
You got to shut that down. 1st and 10 from the Cadet 41. Burke County, you're going to put trips up top. Here's Van Diver, wide roll out to his left, looking, going to throw over the middle, has a man wide open, caught and immediately hit. Makai Williams hits him at the 29, but it's going to be 12 yards on the gain and the first down.
Yeah, I like the motion there, getting the quarterback out of the backfield, shortens his sight, what he has to look at, little flood concept. They sent 1 man deep on the outside, but then a guy coming underneath from the slot out towards the sideline, about 10 yards deep right at the sticks. Quarterback hits him in the chest with it. Just a nice play design, and they are picking up yards and chunks right now.
A good answer by Burke County. This is what you mean. We play good teams. They're not going to roll over for you. Double tights. Here in the formation, a motion to receiver right to left, a little fake. Van Diver comes straight ahead, and he'll get maybe 1 or 2. Nicely read that time on the interior. Who was that? That was Colby Brennan with the tackle coming up, but Van Diver gets 2 yards on the carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
That little counter sending the backside guard and tackle, leading the quarterback, but Van Diver just kind of submarine both of them, is able to come up and wrap up the quarterback's legs. That's a big play.
Bears go back to the flex look, wing T formation under center. They'll fake, go out to the left.
Wide open.
Has a man wide open behind everybody. Touchdown. 26-yard touchdown pass. Van Diver into the back of that end zone. He finds, who was that? Darius Jordan. Number 9, Darius Jordan. So They just flooded everybody up in what you talked about pregame. Run, 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 run. You get sucked up, and nobody's back deep over the top.
And now a formation that BC saw a lot of against Buford, kind of that swinging gate. But now I think they're just going to go with the regular PAT. But, yeah, Kevin, they force you to drop a safety down. When you do, they're going to send a guy where he isn't.
Here's Lovett for the point after. And it's up and it is through. And just like that, it's 7-7, 4:11 to go here in the first quarter. This is Watch BC Sports and Cadet Football, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Island's Ace Hardware is Savannah's own. 318 Johnny Mercer Boulevard in Wilmington Island. They're our hometown, locally owned Ace Hardware. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Island's Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Quite the answer by Burke County that time, as they take it and drive 80 yards down the field and punch it into the end zone. It's 7-7. BC going to get the ball back for the 3rd time here in this first quarter. Will Lovett ready to go. We'll kick it from left to right. He'll squib it down the middle again. Going to be picked up. Jack Ganem at the 22. He'll bounce to his right out to the 30 and get drugged down, falling ahead towards the 34-yard line. That's where BC will take over 1st and 10 and their 3rd possession. So already 2 heavyweight teams trading blows again here in week 3 of the high school football season. And again, now it's right back. This is what you love about sports. It's right back on BC to make an answer here and put together a drive.
Yeah, it was a big play last time that got BC down there, Kevin. Now, can you just kind of put another drive together, hit again what the defense is giving you? Can you answer and give your defense some time as they're all gathered under that BC tent? Look at the tablets and see what went wrong.
Here's Stephen Cannon, trips here to the near side as they work off the far hash. Now quads out here as they put Smart in motion. Empty set for Cannon. Shotgun. They'll roll it a little quick out. Here's Bubba Frazier. Boy, they over pursued. He's at the 40. 45, 50, and drop down. A shoestring tackle at midfield made by Rashad Carter. Otherwise, Bubba Frazier's gone to the house, and that was over pursuit to the tee and just a little flare route for Bubba.
Yeah, we talked about this before the game. Both teams are going to play really fundamental football, and they are. They're just taking what the defense has given them. BC had the numbers on that side, hit Bubba Frazier. That's a big play.
Here's the snap. A pump fake. Cannon had somebody in his kitchen. Immediately run Quavian Gray, outside linebacker, and nobody touched him, and Cannon had about 2 milliseconds to make a decision, and he made the decision to eat it and lose 5 yards.
I mean, if he cut it loose, it's probably a touchdown, but you had a slant underneath right there, and they just sent a blitz. I think it was a cover 0, just left enough guys back in coverage to guard the receivers and sent everybody after the quarterback, but he just got there so quick that Stephen Cannon just didn't know what was back there in coverage, probably made a prudent decision just to tuck it.
2nd and 15 from the Cadet 46-yard line. And here's the snap. Cannon underneath, bubble screen. This is Washington, cuts back here to the near sideline and shoved out of bounds. He'll make it just across the midfield stripe, which will get him close to the original first down. Going to be 3rd down and about 10 and a half here for BC.
Yeah, I think Burke kind of thought something like that was coming. He saw those guys really playing the flats hard. They had a bunch of numbers right there, but still a good job to eat back some of those yards that you lost, a more manageable 3rd down.
So 3rd down and 11. Here's Cannon. Rolling to his right, has pursuit from the backside, trying to get away, throws, has a man, it's caught!
What a catch.
And what a catch, turning around as Bubba Frazier up the right side. He's tripped up at the 12 and knocked out of bounds, but sorry you couldn't see that. What an adjustment on the ball Bubba Frazier made. Was running towards the sideline, had to turn his whole body and catch it behind him.
Yeah.
And then turn that into a big gainer, 1st and 10 from the Burke County 12.
Good job by Stephen Cannon just to find that while he's booting out on the run. Sees Bubba Frazier kind of flash open. We talked about it. You look backside in cover 2. That's where your guys are usually going to be open. They drop 2 guys deep. Watch Bubba Frazier come across the field and just hit them right in the numbers. And just an outstanding catch there from Bubba Frazier.
Cadets have 2 receivers bunched tight here to the left. There's the give. They're going to stack it, block it wall. This is Smart, cuts back inside of 5 on his feet, falls down, and didn't quite make it. Going to be at the half-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal from there, and they just student body left it for Stanley Smart, and he had a wall.
And he's going to go back and watch that one on tape, and that just comes from reps at running back. He's very new to this position right now, but he's an incredible athlete. 10.6 speeds at over 190 pounds. That's not normal. If he just burns, he's got the corner. He can get to the end zone, but he tried to stick his foot in his ground and cut up field and gets tackled at the 1, but still big-time play for the Cadets.
Clock rolling here inside of 2 minutes. Cadets on the half-yard line, I formation, Stephen Cannon. Oh, he dropped the football, it's loose, and I think Burke County fell on it. Doggone it, just a missed snap for the Cadets, and Burke County there to fall on it. I think it's one of those, everybody's so tight, you just hear the ball's out and linemen are looking between their feet, and Burke County just fell on it.
Once that ball was gone, it got kicked about 6 times, and just whoever was on the ground got lucky, but that's just one of those ones where you're shotgun, and then you go under center when everybody's packed in there tight. It's just a miscommunication, but if there is a silver lining, I guess they got to go 98 yards.
But a missed opportunity, minute 55 Huge. Here to go in the first. And the ball is on the Burke County 2-yard line. And I don't think Galen Houston has to guess a whole lot what they're about to do. They're going to run the football off this goal line.
Got to be careful, though.
Would you dare call a play action in your own end zone?
First down, maybe. Yeah, I mean, this is a chance just to steal one.
So Cadet defense right back out there. And the muddle huddle, they come out, and they'll give it straight ahead in the end zone. They got a safety. What great penetration there into the end zone. Who was that?
That's Cam Cody.
It was one of the linebackers. I'm trying to see who it was. If it was Larson Little or Colby Brennan. I think it was Larson Little.
Yeah, I think he came on a dog blitz up the middle. He kind of stood up the running back, and then big Cam Cody was there to finish it up.
Yeah, Larson Little came shooting the gap and just stood Amari Williams straight up in the end zone. So a safety for the Cadets. So +2 and the ball.
They did it on purpose, right?
Yeah. That time, as we said, they sold out on the run on that play.
Yeah.
And shot the gap.
It didn't matter if they ran through it, whatever they wanted to do there. Larson Little was in the backfield so fast, he probably would have taken the ball right out of the quarterback's hands. That's just a great job timing that snap there from a really experienced linebacker and a guy who BC is counting on to be their defensive leader.
Yeah, great job. And now they're going to get the.
Yeah, you got to be in plus territory at the end of this probably.
And they're going to kick it off the tee. But again, they've been hesitant to kick it to BC. It's been squib kicks the whole time. So if they do the same thing, Jack Ganem, who's got the first two, is standing on the BC 45. So as you said, Christian, should get great field position. This is more of a line driver off to the left and go out of bounds. And the flag is going to come out. And I think BC is going to get good field position regardless out of this.
Kevin, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know the rule about what happens when you kick a safety out of bounds in high school football. Because if it's just where
back him up, make him kick it again?
Yeah, I mean, because if it's just where the kick was in and out, that's a great kick for Burke.
I think they're going to move it forward. But, yeah, if it's just 5 or 10 for kicking it out of bounds, you're still I'd make him kick it again. I think he's asking that. Yeah, he said, kick it again.
Kick it again. I'm not taking it out of the 41. I don't want it on their 41.
Yeah, so they're going to make him kick it again.
Oh, no, same first down. How big is the penalty?
They're going to put it on the 45 of Burke County. So
I still might make him kick it
again. Yeah, I know. So great field position, 1:49 here for BC. Stephen Cannon shotgun. He's got Stanley Smart to his left. Trips here to the near side. One up top. Here's the snap. Cannon looking here to the near side. Now flush to his right. Still looking. Going to pump fake. Turn the corner. Go out of bounds. Oh! One of those officials got laid out over there on the run. Give Stephen Cannon a hard-fought 1 yard off the right side. And it'll be second down at about 9. And, boy, they ran right at the side official. He took it. I was thinking it might have been a late hit at first, but I think it was just a collision over there.
Yeah. So you're going to tuck it and run it like a running back, which they've been telling him to do. Sometimes you're going to get hit like a running back, but I don't think Stephen Cannon has any problems with that.
So 2nd and 8. We'll call it 2nd and 8 to give him 2 at the Burke County 43. Trips here, same formation for BC. One up top. Here's the snap. Cannon looking near side. He'll pull it and run it near side. And trying to get the edge, nothing doing. He'll get maybe the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, I think they were hoping that Burke County is going to be in a drop coverage, but Burke County press man right there. BC just ran a bunch of short stop routes. Nothing was open. Stephen Cannon tucks it, but if anything, Kevin lost a yard.
So, yeah, they did move him back to the 44, so 3rd and 9.
Again, Burke County slowly just starting to creep up on defense, leaving a single high safety.
They'll flip the formation, trips up top. That's the wide side of the field as they work off the near hash. One receiver here to the bottom. Here's the snap. Cannon looking underneath, a little dump route to Bubba Frazier. Makes a man miss at the 40. Works near side down at the 35-yard line. That is awfully close.
It's going to be just enough. He just had to break that plane.
Far side official has him just short. Near side official was just inside the 35. I'd go for this if you don't get it.
Yeah.
Your quarterback 6'2", fall forward.
I will say you got a kicker that can bang it through from here.
You can, but I got 6'2" that needs to get me.
That's correct.
3 inches. Franklin Stevens, I think, doesn't like the spot. He wants to back him up. Now they're gonna measure.
If it's where that ball is set up, that's a first down.
I think that's why Franklin Stevens is upset. It's like you marked him inside the 35. The nose of the football, actually, if you're familiar with the kind of white rings on the football,
right.
The white ring of the football is on the 35-yard line, which, judging by the sticks, that should be a first down. Is this the new age measurement where they don't actually bring the chains? Are they just going to eyeball it? Here they go.
Just when are we going to get the AI in the football is the question.
Well, if you notice in college football, they don't measure a whole lot anymore. I think they have kind of things they can can gauge or like
I think
laser.
they have people up in the booth and the TV saying, "Hey, just come on, we got commercials."
Yeah. They'll pull the chains tight. If it's where the ball's laying on the ground, he should have it, and it is.
Oh, it's the old
2 inches.
Have you ever seen the Outback Bowl with Jadeveon Clowney in Michigan?
Yeah,
where the ref is just like, like a postcard.
That's BC is going to go for this.
I mean, you have to advance the ball an inch.
I think maybe I put Cam Cody at fullback now.
I think I might just let my quarterback lean.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going to do. A receiver to either side, I formation behind Stephen Cannon. 4th down and a credit card.
You just got to take the snap and then pull it up and poke it over.
Ball security, obviously, as we just saw in the last drive. 37 seconds and rolling here for the Cadets. Here's a snap. They go straight
First
ahead.
down.
Cannon's got it and more. A little push in the back from Stanley Smart will get him 3 extra yards, but it's a first down for BC.
We'll take the push. It's legal now. The Philadelphia Eagles just run it to lethal perfection.
30 seconds to go here in the quarter. Cannon's got twins either side. Here's the snap on first down. Looks, has a man in the flat. It's caught. That is Washington inside the 20, 15, 10, breaks away, and a touchdown. 32 yards up the near sideline. Stephen Cannon to Josh Washington, and the Cadets tack on 6 more. It's 15-7 BC.
And that's one of those plays, Kevin, where you finally had a receiver on the outside make a man miss. And when you do that, there's a whole lot of green grass in front of you. It's a great job by a guy who's emerging as a star out wide in Washington, making a play when he gets the ball in his hands. And it's going to be a big weapon for the Cadets going forward. But also now, Kevin, 2-score lead.
Connor Ferguson to tack on the point after.
Almost a 2-score lead, momentarily.
And again, BC with the safety while we're kind of off scores here. Here's the kick right through there and good. 16-7. Cadets lead it with 13 seconds to go here in the quarter. And the Cadets lead it 16-7. And again, nice recovery after the fumble on the 1 yard line. You get the safety, and then you come back, and offense kind of looks right back in sync here. And I think that's a sign of a good team where you have a misfire, mishit, come right back in sync.
Well, outside of the first drive where, again, you missed a wide open man on a post route, it's been almost unstoppable for the Cadets. They've been right up and down the field, pretty much doing whatever they want. So it's been a much better showing tonight offensively for the Cadets. Now, defensively, you got the safety on the last quote-unquote drive, but the last extended field position they had, they were able to move the ball at will against you. So can the Cadets come out and stop that side-to-side passing game that Burke was able to come out with? Again, they're just playing a numbers game. If the Cadets are just going to have 2 guys, they're going to motion a third receiver out, and they're going to go 3 versus 2, and it worked all the way down the field last time.
Connor Ferguson set to kick this one right to left as we're late in the first quarter. Sun's starting to dip away behind us. And here's a line driver going to be let go and roll into the end zone. And that's going to be a touchback out to the 20 for Burke County. But again, that time of year where you still get light at the game's time and then the lights kind of take over here early on. And I tell you what, for as nice as it was at Buford last week, it's equally as muggy here this week back home in Savannah.
Just we missed the humidity, you know?
Yeah, we got a taste of football weather. It was low 80s at kickoff
Kevin,
last week.
You've
And
lived in Georgia your whole life. You know fake fall when you see it.
yeah, I know. I got duped like everybody does. But it was the opening weekend of college football. You had to throw the taste. You had to throw the taste out there.
Your Yellow Jackets come out.
Yeah.
Get a big old win against Florida State.
And, of course, just a smorgasbord of college football all weekend long here on Labor Day. Here's Van Diver out of a shotgun, and he will keep it, trying to come near side, and nice saving tackle that time. That was going to be – that was Colby Brennan.
Yeah, could have been a
trying
big
to
one.
make sure it was him came up and made that tackle. And that's the end of the first quarter. 16-7. Benedictine out in front. We go to the second quarter. This is Cadet Football. Watch BCSports.com. Built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we get ready to start the second. We flipped ends of the field. And it will be Burke County working right to left here in the second quarter. It'll be second down in about 4 yards as they'll move a tight end to the other side, power to the right side of the formation. They'll run that way. This is Williams, has a man set up, big hole across the 40 and going to be brought down and takes a man with him out at the 46, 47 yard line. Who was out there? That was one of those safeties. Had to come up there and help. That was going to be, trying to see who that was that made the tackle. It was Cameron Gonzalez.
Yeah, that's
coming up from the safety spot to have to make that tackle.
Sure, and that's just simple football, Kevin. They're just playing the numbers game again. They motion a couple guys out to the right. They have more guys than you on the right side now, and they're just running power football.
So 1st and 10 from the Bears 47. Empty backfield. They'll motion a man across. They'll pitch it to him as he comes by, and nice pursuit. Colby Brennan tripped him up, and then big Cam Cody finished him off around the 49, a gain of 2. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, nice job. Colby Brennan is flying up there, setting the edge, forcing the man back inside, and then the linemen are able to disengage from their blocks, come back and make a tackle. But again, Kevin, I like the offense from Burke. If they could just avoided that safety, they were moving the ball at will, and here they are again right at the 50-yard line.
So Van Diver, again, they're kind of taking a page out of BC's book. They'll go under center. They'll go shotgun, back under center. Right now they're under center. A little play action. Van Diver looking. Third, Scroggins hits him, but he got the ball out. And a first down and more. A touchdown saving tackle by JoJo Sutton out there at the BC 39. But third, Scroggins laid the wood. But Kelvon Scott was open in the flat, and he got it to him.
Sure, sometimes you just got to tip your hat. I mean, you had the quarterback balled up. You had all three of the deep guys covered, and then the quarterback's able to slide up, take a big hit, and find his guy in the flat. Sometimes you just got to say, hey, that's a good job.
1st and 10 here for Burke County. Van Diver under center. Kind of a split back set behind him. They'll motion a tight end over to the right, power to the right side of the formation. Here's the snap. They'll roll out, bootleg, quarterback. They try to run option. Now he pitches it out. BC did not have the corner sealed, and it's going to be a 5-yard gain around the right side for Amari Williams. And that was just an old power speed option play here to the right side.
Yeah, and I like BC's adjustment. They rocked a safety down with Kai Williams, just coming on an Okie roll, really as the snap is happening, rolling down into the box. And he was there on the quarterback, but just the corner or linebacker, whoever else was supposed to be there, got washed up and didn't take the pitch man. That could have been a big play for BC, but the quarterback executed well, pitched the ball to his man, and is able to pick up 5 yards.
So 2nd down and 5 inside 10 minutes to go here before the half. They'll run a little end around. BC, there's a hold. This one's coming back. And JoJo Sutton delivers the hit on Kelvon Scott, who didn't know he had an interior lineman helping him out in a big way, and that's going to move this thing back.
Yeah, but still, I mean, just inside, outside, pounding BC. Hard to figure out where they're going.
You see hands on hips a lot for those interior guys who are getting pushed and moved around.
Cam Cody having a conversation with the offender there saying, brother, come on. When my jersey gets pulled that far away from me, I'm a lot of human.
Yeah.
But when my jersey gets pulled that far away from me, it's holding.
So that'll push the ball back to the Cadet 44-yard line. So it'll be 2nd down and 16 for Burke County here. And again, give the Bears credit. They're formationing and motioning, and what do they call it nowadays? The eye candy. They're eye candy and BC.
This is not eye candy. This is meat and vegetables right now. We're just playing good football.
Man over the middle, it's caught. This is going to be Kelvon Scott out of bounds at the 35. Gets a good chunk of it back. It's going to be 3rd down and about 8.
When they motion somebody, they're going in that motion direction. They're just trying to out-leverage you and get more people to that side. This is good football, and it's what you and I talked about. It's what you expect from a Franklin Stevens football team. It's not going to be fancy, but it is going to be efficient.
So 3rd down, they'll call it 6. 9:38 to go here in the second quarter. Cadets up 16-7. And again, good to have you along here on Watch BC Sports. Again, home games are going to be audio only per Benedictine's request. Here's a rollout. And boy, what a nice option fake. And Van Diver going to take it off the right side inside the 25 for a 1st down. And that was just, again, speed option on a little rollout faked the pitch, kept it, and had a huge gain up the middle.
And it's not fun to try to defend him, but, man, it is fun to watch a quarterback that knows how to run his offense. And right now, he's in complete command of this offense.
Again, Burke County, this is where they can really go on those methodical drives. They're in no hurry to go out and snap the ball. They huddle a lot. Back to that wing T look. They'll run same play back to the near side, and Vanderbilt is going to keep it before he's brought down at the 25-yard line. That was Estabrook making the tackle. So you got safeties making tackles,
Sure.
which is good. They're in run support, but you also don't want your safeties making all the tackles.
The adjustment this drive, after the last drive where they were just pounding you off the edge to the strong side, now they're kind of countering back with an option to the weak side because BC is kind of over-leveraging, making sure they have the numbers to the strong side, and now they just have a guy kind of pulling the defensive end and just kind of caving that side end. It's just great play calling so far from Burke.
A diver out of a shotgun, trips up top, low snap. He'll ride the belly, give it to Williams off the right side, and he'll be knocked down
Right
at
there.
the sticks. That is Makai Williams and Colby Brennan on the stop. And it's going to be short by about a yard. So for a team that's power running you down the field, 3rd and 1's about as optimal as they want it.
2-down territory for sure as well.
8:06 and rolling here for the clock here as Burke County, a very methodical drive. Taking it 65 yards thus far on this possession. Wing T look again. One receiver out left of the formation. They'll check back. Franklin Stevens wants a timeout. We'll take it with him. 7:43 to go here in the first. We're coming right back. Cadets football brought to you by, or built by, Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Franklin Stevens and Burke County coming off the timeout here. It'll be 3rd down and 2. 7:43 to go before the half. And again, with this option offense or this wing T offense, they're going 2 plays here if they don't get this.
Yeah, and again, you wonder here, Kevin, do you take a chance to maybe hit one on the outside if you're Burke, where BC is going to be loading up to stop the inside, take a chance to toss one to the outside and try to pick up a touchdown.
Here's that straight back formation behind Van Diver. He'll give it. Tail, this is Williams going to have the first down inside the 10. Rolls over, man, at the 5. What a run for a touchdown.
That is a highlight reel touchdown run right there for Burke County. I don't know who it was on the receiving end for the Cadets, but somebody just got run over on the way for that touchdown.
That was one of those safeties that just got bowled over.
Listen, he's got a full head of steam. You're a safety coming up, trying to plant your feet, chop them.
And what do they call that? It was kind of what they call the Tennessee formation, where you just have the straight power T across the back.
That's just wing T, man.
And then they just gave it. They all flowed to one direction. They gave it to the tailback, and they just powered 16 yards there into the end zone. Will Lovett to tack on the point after. And skipped it back there, got it up and good. Boy, what a recovery by the holder that time, because that ball was a double hopper back there, and Lovett puts it through. 16-14. We're coming right back. This is WatchBCSports.com, and this is Cadets Football, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware. You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes. Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets up 16-14, but Burke County just shoved it down their throat 80 yards. and a time-consuming drive. They've had it this whole quarter. So ate up close to 40% of the quarter on the drive in what was left of the first quarter. Here's another squib down the middle. Jack Ganem going to pick it up. 25 comes near side, tries to cut back, and going to get popped at the 27, 28-yard line. And that's where the Cadets will take over, 1st and 10.
Yeah, Kevin, I think the concerning thing for BC right now is you're getting manhandled up front, and it's you don't know where to attack. They're hitting you in the middle. They're hitting you on the sides. If you start to really fill in with that front seven, bringing everybody down to the box, they've been able to hit out some flat routes off some play actions, and then we saw the touchdown earlier for about 20 yards over the top. So it's just great execution, and I think a wonderful play calling so far from Burke County.
Stephen Cannon leads the offense out there. Twins either side. They work off the near side hash left to right here in the second quarter. He'll take the snap. The give is going to be Smart straight ahead. Burke County all over that. And Smart's going to lose a couple as he was tackled almost as soon as he took the handoff. So that right side of the line just got crumpled up.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's nothing fancy about it. Just got beat off the snap. And Stanley Smart got hit almost as soon as he touched the football.
So 2nd and long. Trips up top now for the Cadets. One receiver here to the near side is going to be Karan Hall. Here's the snap. Fake inside. Cannon all kinds of time. Now going to get flushed. Rolling to his left. Throws across his body. What a throw. Caught for a first down up the left side and knocked out of bounds at the BC 45.
Yeah, I think Franklin Stevens.
That was Josh Washington again.
Yeah, I think Franklin Stevens is upset because his corner was in great position in coverage, but he got his eyes in the backfield and started looking at Stephen Cannon, got sucked up towards him, and let Washington flow in behind him. That's a great job by Stephen Cannon keeping his eyes downfield, and then Kevin on the run, rolling the wrong way, just delivering a strike.
So 1st and 10 from the Cadet. They'll mark him up at the 46-yard line. Stack receivers here to the near side. One receiver up top. Here's the give. It's going to be Smart off that left side, and he'll get turned back, but not before he gets 3 yards out near midfield.
Yeah, but count it, Kevin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Burke County players in the box right now. I mean, they're just loading up to stop the run.
Cadets will put trips here to the near side. One receiver up top. Cannon out of a shotgun. He'll roll here to the near side. Looking, throws it out. It's caught. Jack Ganem and knocked out of bounds. Very close to a first down. I think from the near side spot, he's going to have it. Yeah, he's got the first down. So right at 10 yards, move the chains. And just a simple, cut off half the field and let's make a throw.
And if you got 8 guys in the box, their flats are going to be open because they're going to drop some guys deep in coverage. That's a nice play call there by A.J. DePhillips.
Cadets will flip the formation again, putting trips to the wide side, which is going to be the top side of the field here. One receiver to the short side is Mekhi Williams. Here's the snap. Cannon looking. All kinds of time out there. He's going to wind up, throw it deep, has a man back in the end zone. Caught, touchdown. That's Josh Washington again.
What a ball player.
43 yards and a touchdown. Josh Washington's second touchdown of the first half. Cadets right back on top, extending that lead.
Hey, Kevin, he kind of had to wait for it to develop because the corner met the post route about 15 yards deep. They ran into each other. Washington able to get loose and get behind him. Stephen Cannon was on him from the snap because that cover 2 was going to open up. That's a great delivery. Gave his man time to run over the ball. And Kevin, just an easy flick of the wrist touch pass from 50 yards for Stephen Cannon.
Connor Ferguson for the point after. Hold is good. Kick is right up and through there over the back of the building here in the south end zone. It's 23-14. Cadets with the answer. This is Cadets football on Watch BC Sports, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Welcome back to Memorial Stadium. Josh Washington, 2 first half touchdowns. And getting behind the defense on that one, and a beautiful throw. All kinds of time for Stephen Cannon to wind up and throw the football.
Yeah, you mentioned it there. Great job by the offensive line giving him time, and Stephen Cannon had time to come to that route, see that it was getting blocked, wait for it to develop, develop, and then throw the football for a touchdown. And, man, how about Josh Washington? You were wondering who the guy was going to be outside of Bubba Frazier. And there's a lot of candidates. I thought Ganem really stepped up last week, but Josh Washington is showing he is a weapon.
I think when they see the tape, there'll be a lot of coaches going, oh, no. Another one?
Another one?
And I think that's good for this offense. Obviously, when they're both out there, people are going to watch Mekhi Williams. They're going to watch Bubba Frazier, and now you got to pay attention to the other guys. Makes for a long evening in the secondary. Here's the kick. Connor Ferguson, left to right, gets all kinds of leg in this one, and it's going to cannon into the back of the end zone for a touchback. And, again, what an answer. Every time Burke County has put something up there, BC's had an answer.
Well, again, outside of the first drive, you haven't a fumble, I guess, at the end zone, but you really haven't been able to slow down BC. So an excellent job so far from this offense, and the play calling's been there. And, again, we were wondering when the big plays were going to happen. They're coming out in bunches right now.
So 1st and 10 from the Burke County 20. And now here's one of those where if you're BC, if you're Danny Britt, maybe not overtly thinking it, but you're like, we'd like to get off the field, do a 3-minute drive and score before the half.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a chance here for Burke to double dip. If they can run the clock, score, they're going to get the ball back to start the second half.
So here is the snap.
Weak side.
This is going to be Williams right off the right side, just pushing and pulling BC bodies. And I think Colby Brennan and Larson Little are going to have to pay admission for the ride they just went on. They got drug about 5 yards.
I mean, BC is getting manhandled up front. You got to wonder, Kevin, how long do you stay base 3-4? I mean, when do you go bare? When do you start bringing that safety down, swapping him out for another linebacker and just lining 5 guys up?
As you said, sometimes it looked complicated, but it's just simple addition, right?
Yeah.
We have 6, you have 5. That's where we're going.
Now they rock that safety down into the box.
And here's the snap. They'll fake it to Williams, and they're going to go Van Diver straight ahead. It's got a big hole, and boy, a touchdown saving tackle. Who was that? Was that Estabrook, the safety? Grabbed the shoelace at the 46, and Van Diver slipped and tripped ahead towards midfield. So just getting it in chunks here.
Again, Danny Britt has really given his team some credit through these first 2 weeks of the season about fighting and their resiliency. I think this performance defensively, we might see the first gasket get blown for Danny Britt, because just watching a team on your home stadium just run right up the middle on you with very little resistance, there are very few things that drive a coach crazy like that.
Empty set here for Burke County. They got double tights to the right, one receiver up to the right.
You got four down linemen now for the Cadets.
Twins here to the near side. Van Diver in a shotgun. Now they'll motion here right to left. The snap. They'll fake it. Van Diver keeps it straight ahead and now going to cut it outside. Makes a man miss and gets tripped up, but not before he gets 6 yards off that right side. I think that was third Scroggins and maybe trying to see who that is. Zach Maxwell making the tackle.
And they do not want to give the football back to BC in this half. I mean, Kevin, almost 2 minutes eaten up already on this drive.
And they'll get the ball coming out of the locker room.
I mean, it is quiet on this BC sideline. A lot of groans and some complaining about just, man, somebody make a play. But you got to give credit where credit's due. The offensive line for Burke is executing well, and the quarterback is unbelievable right now.
They'll go back under center out of that wing tee look. They'll fake the give, come back the other way, and BC reads that one well. Colby Brennan went to tackle. No, excuse me, that was Larson Little. JoJo Sutton there to finish it off. And that's how you read your keys, right?
Yeah, and that was the first time tonight, though, we really saw a Burke County running back not playing his foot and just get uphill. That time, a little bit of dancing in the backfield, trying to make a play and get outside, and BC was ready.
One of the few times we've called Larson Little's name outside of the safety. They've been kind of running away from him tonight.
And I think they've done one of the biggest reasons you're seeing them get these big chunk plays is they're able to get to the second level right now and get to those linebackers. So, yeah, that second level's kind of been eliminated.
So 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, man coverage here for the Cadets. They're going to go 3v3 at the top.
Here's the rollout. Van Diver throws it short. Man, dropped it. Oh, man. It was there, and he dropped it. Zach Maxwell in coverage was 2-3 yards off, hit him in the gut and dropped it. So fortunate for BC, and looks like they're going to get this football back.
And with about 3 minutes to play, plenty of time for BC to get some points. But, Kevin, it's like he's throwing a no-hitter right now, the offensive coordinator for Burke County. You know it's going to be man-to-man. You see it rock down. The quarterback kind of looks to the sideline, gets his play call, and you call a man beater. It's there for a first down. It's just you got to have the guys execute, and that's a drop right there. That's why BC's getting the football back, is just some miscommunications there and a couple of drops.
Love it to punt the football. Takes the snap. Oh, I thought BC maybe had a chance. High hanging punt. They're going to let it bounce. It kind of checks up and then takes a BC roll back towards the 25. Bears will touch it up at the 24. So BC going to get good field position here, all things considered. 3 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Christian Gokel, plenty of time for this A.J. DePhillips offense to put something together.
Yeah, and I know 3:02 is an eternity for this offense. And with Burke County getting the football back to start the second half, getting points on the board right now kind of feels like a must for momentum going into the second half.
For as much as we talk about Burke's offense, Cadets haven't really been stopped, but
No.
once offensively. They stopped themselves with a fumble on the goal line.
On the first
on
drive,
a bad snap,
you miss a wide open post for a touchdown.
Cannon's going to go under center, out of the flex bone. They'll give it to Jack Ganem off the left side. They got it set up and turns the corner at the 28, giving 5 yards on first down. So just what you want when you're trying to come out and establish a drive.
Well, yeah, that's just clock management too, is even if something terrible happens and you go 3 and out here, you want to eat some clock here and not give Burke a full complement, like 2.5 minutes to get back down the field. You wanted to eat some clock with that first play. You've already pulled about 30 seconds off of the clock. That's just good time management there from DePhillips.
Here's the snap to Cannon on second down. Plenty of time. Has a man wide open. Going to throw it to him. It's caught. This is Hall. Makes a man miss 40 and tripped up at the 45. A touchdown saving tackle that time by Denarion Perkins, but they find Karan Hall, and he'll have plenty for the first down and move the chains.
Yeah, Karan Hall was open from the time the play was snapped. I think Stephen Cannon was waiting to see if the corner would come back and cover him and leave a guy open deeper, but he had 5 seconds to throw that pass.
They'll throw it right back to him again. Karan Hall at the 45, makes a man miss 40, leans ahead towards the 38, so give him 13 on the catch on first down. And again, Karan, 6'4".
Limping off, but I mean, Kevin, you look at the body, that is a wide receiver build right there. That's a true X style.
And he's got plenty of time left, just a sophomore. That new LaDon Bryan, I guess, if you will. Here's the snap.
One more time. Same
this
play
is Bubba Frazier, and he'll make a man miss 20, 15, 10, breaks away. He's going to go and score for a touchdown. Excuse me, Mekhi Williams. I'm sorry. I got excited there. I looked right at 2 and said 4.
That's all right.
In my brain. So not Frazier, but Williams with the touchdown. And BC extends that lead. 29-14. It's been a little bit of everybody here in the first half offensively.
Yeah, but Kevin, you have a receiver come off, you replace him with Mekhi Williams. That's a pretty good guy to replace him with. But BC ran the same play 4 times in a row.
Point after is good by Connor Ferguson. It's 30-14. And talk to that. If you're the offensive coordinator, you're in your bag when you run the exact same play 4 times in a row to the same guy. Yeah. It's a pass play, same guy, and you didn't stop it.
Well, it wasn't hurry up. It was no huddle, right? So BC not giving them a chance to really substitute, and they're just in their base defense dropping guys off. A little like cover 4 maybe, where they just had 4 guys dropping deep, leaving the flat wide open. You throw it till they stop it. I mean, it goes back to the days of the toss play, right? You're going to run that play until you show you can stop it. And I think that's just a great job of not trying to outthink things. Just if they are going to drop off that far, hit the man in the flat over and over and over again until they stop it. And that's a pretty good sub to have coming off the sideline. When your sophomore gets hurt, you just replace him with Mr. All-World Mekhi Williams, and he's able to waltz into the end zone for a touchdown.
1:59 to go here before the half. So if anything, you scored too quick and got to kick the ball back to Burke, but you'll take it. 30-14. As Connor Ferguson's been as busy as anybody here in the first half. And he will kick it left to right again. Here's the boot. Ferguson, more of a line drive, going to skip at the 15. They're going to have to pick it up at the 5. BC in coverage. Out towards the 10, 15, and kick coverage team is going to drag him down around the 18. And on the return, it was, who was that? Williams, number 1. for Burke County.
Kevin, I was down on the field before the game, and the wind really is blowing right to left. So I wonder if that squib coming this way is just trying to deal with the wind that's blowing down on the field.
Minute 57 to go. So I don't know how all that only took 2 seconds on the return.
It happens.
So here is Van Diver out of a shotgun, trips here to the near side. And they'll ride the belly, and he'll keep it, go straight ahead, but nicely read by the BC defense, only a gain of 2. Wrapped up, looks like that was third Scroggins. Isaiah Jones helping out on the tackle as well. BC's not lined up. Burke County ready to go. Here's the snap quickly out, and I think they kind of rushed the offense that time. BC was late getting lined up. They snapped it quickly, and Van Diver had a man open and just underthrew it out in the flat. So just kind of cost themselves there. 3rd down and 8 upcoming for Burke County, but the Cadets, some confusion there on defense, were not lined up and kind of had to hustle to get things going, and I think Burke got themselves going too fast.
And Kevin, 3rd and 8. I mean, this is a chance for BC to get off the field. Full complement of timeouts right now. You could score again.
Especially if it's not a good punt. I think Franklin Stevens knows that as well. They don't get this. I wonder if Danny Britt calls timeout.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. BC's got their full complement. I know Danny Britt's calling timeout if they come up short here.
30-14. Big 3rd and 8 here as we get closer to the half. Van Diver's going to put twins either side. Now he'll motion a man across the formation, giving him trips here to the near side. Straight drop, underneath screen.
Great play.
And it's going to be caught by Williams. He's got a first down and more, and a touchdown saving tackle. Made out there at the 40-yard line. That was Zach Maxwell coming off his cornerback spot, and also Gonzalez from the safety spot having a gang tackle there in the first down.
Kevin, it's just a great play call. You got 3 guys out to the left. Take the snap, running back runs out into that flat. You get everybody looking that way, and then you throw a screen to the other side.
And a skip back there. Van Diver scoops it up. Going to throw, and great play. Oh, what a catch out there in the right flat by number 10, Demarion Perkins. That'll be a first down. And, I mean, Zach Maxwell had blanket coverage over there, and just a great catch there on the far sideline. 50 seconds clock rolling here before the half, 30-14. Van Diver trips here to the left. He'll roll left side. Still rolling. Colby Brennan hits him as he throws and throws behind the receiver. He was looking for Rashad Carter. There's a flag coming out late in the secondary. How are they going to call? They call defensive holding on somebody on BC? And if that's the case, that'll be a huge break.
It looked like a guy was trying to fight back across his body, and a BC defender just kind of grabbed a hold of the front of his uniform.
Danny Britt out at the numbers. He wants an explanation with 33 seconds. Holding against BC.
10-yard penalty.
And you can just see the look on his face as he turns around like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's the right call.
I think more frustration on the defense that time. But
it's the right call. I mean, you have a quarterback booting out. The receiver's running towards the left. Quarterback boots out. The receiver breaks back towards the right. You're going the wrong way. Just kind of reach out and grab him. Easy call for the ref.
33 seconds to go. It's 1st and 10 for Burke from the BC 35-yard line. They'll motion the back out of the backfield. Empty set. Here's Van Diver. Quick throw, underthrown. Had a back cutting across the formation. Just threw it down at the knees. And Kelvon Scott couldn't come up with it. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, he was there. But, again, it's just BC getting some pressure on him. That time, third Scroggins getting in the backfield a little bit. 30 seconds. I mean, can you still run your full offense if you're Burke?
They have 2 timeouts.
It's the one thing we haven't seen him be able to do is just drop back and pass.
Trips here to the near side. Van Diver looking. He's going to try to come near side. Now flushed all over the place. And he's going to be brought down and sacked.
That's huge.
What a sack. Who was that? John Lilly getting out there on defense with the sack. I had to make sure I was seeing that right. And John Willie was part of that jailhouse blitz there, and he gets a huge sack way back. Burke calls timeout, 22 seconds. It's all the way back near midfield. So it's going to be third and forever here for Burke County.
Yeah, and you got a few of those players, Kevin, on both sides of the football for BC. Guys like Larson Little, where he could probably be a really good running back if you weren't trying to get him to be an excellent linebacker, right? Larson Little the same way. You want him to kind of fill in to that, he's about the same way where you want him to kind of fill in that tight end role, but that time he's an athlete. Let him go out there and play some linebacker. So it's cool to see it on both sides.
So it'll be third and forever. Lily's going to stay out there as part of that defensive unit. And I know it doesn't seem like it, but this defense has played a lot here in this first half. You'd say,
yeah, and they got
by a lot.
I
mean a lot of playing time. I mean, they scored. Yeah. You say the offense put up 30 points, but they've been out there a lot of game time.
Well, and to be fair, this is a team that's put up a lot of points. I mean, averaging almost 50 points a game. Holding them to 14 might not be the worst.
Here's the snap to Van Diver. Jailbreak screen again. Oh, nice throw, but drinking out of a tackle is Williams. I thought Cadets had him wrapped up, and there's Colby Brennan with the tackle all the way down at the BC 35. They ran the jailbreak screen. Franklin Stevens wants a timeout with 12 seconds. It'll be fourth down and about 11.
That's a great play call. That's what BC runs when they're backed up big like that, is you just let everybody release downfield and dump it off to an athlete. And that time, Burke able to pick up what they lost there. And if anything, Kevin, you're in position to go for it now at least and not give BC great field position with some time to throw the ball at the end zone.
And I got to imagine, Christian, I know they didn't ask you to do that in your big playing days, but when you're a defensive lineman and you break through and you're like, nobody touched me. Screen.
Yeah, I mean, that's worrisome. You're not that fast.
Yeah.
So
and Burke County uses the timeout here with there's 2 seconds left.
I was going to say, did they?
And they pointed towards Burke, so.
But was the timeout not called before the 2 seconds, or did they want to burn it down like that? Maybe just take one shot at the end zone and get out of here.
Yeah, this would be a 52-yarder if you tried the field goal, and judging by the kickoffs, no disrespect to them, but I don't think they have the leg to make this. But also on fourth down, if you run this, you know BC's not getting the ball back.
Sure. And the pump-up music of choice tonight. So depressing Zach Bryant.
Is there any other kind of Zach Bryant?
No. I don't know what gets you fired up for fourth down, Kevin, but.
I mean, this ain't it. I'll tell you that.
That's a little all-night revival.
Jeez.
I mean, back in my day, we kind of like We Ready, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, you know.
Nothing says get on your feet like a soft love ballad.
To each their own. Something in the Lord's, Kevin.
Here we go. Fourth down, 2 seconds to go from the BC 35. Van Diver, straight drop. He's going to wind it up, let it go. In the air, going to be picked off. Did he catch that?
I think it went through.
It was.
No,
they said incomplete. Who was that? I thought Bubba Frazier caught it laying on the ground.
No, it went through three people's hands.
So at the half, Cadets 30, Burke County 14. A solid first half there for BC. Christian Gokel. We're coming right back with the Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report. A lot to get to here on this one, and we're coming right back. This is Cadet Football on WatchBCSports.com, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the Shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook. At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back here to the half. BC up 30-14. Bernard Williams Insurance halftime report. Christian Gokel, and we said, hey, you want to come out fast, build on last week. They've certainly done that. Offensively, Josh Washington, a couple of touchdowns. Your playmakers on offense have made some solid plays, but offensively, you look good, minus a fumble at the goal line. Done some good things. Defensively, kind of got pushed around a little bit, but by and large, you've held serve more often than not. I think one guy got behind the defense on you once. You got sucked up by the run, but by and large, they've taken chunk yards against you defensively until they've gotten down closer to the red zone. You kind of bowed your back a little bit.
Yeah, and I think it's that bend but don't break, and it's the attitude a lot of defenses have against modern offenses. But I think more concerning for the Cadets is when Burke County has wanted to run the football, they haven't had an answer. I know we're going to talk about the offense for BC in a second, but defensively, yes, you bowed up a little bit when you needed to, but at the same time, Burke's dropped some passes that would probably have kept a drive going. So it's give and take, but you've gotten handled on a couple of drives, and that's concerning.
Again, where's the fix if you're BC there at halftime? Obviously, you could say work your keys, but where's the fix to try to get off the field a little quicker?
It depends on how you want to approach this. You're up 16 points right now. I know they get the ball first to start the second half, but you're up 16 points, so you can play conservatively and keep doing what you're doing, where you're going to work down the field, but you're going to do it one play at a time. There's not going to be any big chunk plays. Or you can say, we have to figure out how to fix this for future games. And if we're going to do that, you've got to drop some more people in the box, and you got to play some bigger personnel, because right now they're just bigger than you and bowling you over.
And it seems like we've said it a lot of Wyatt Estabrook, Gonzalez, those safeties really making a lot of tackles up. Colby Brennan and Larson Little. We normally talk about them, Christian, making tackles closer to the line of scrimmage. They're making tackles 6-7 yards deep sometimes, and kind of along for the ride in a couple of cases, depending on how much head of steam they got going on. So it's that adjustment you're going to have to make up front to slow that down.
And I think it's going to come down to the defensive line, where you can't shoot upfield. It's you take your guy on almost like you're an offensive lineman on your own side. You're opening up holes for the linebackers. And I think what they're doing a really good job of right now, Burke County, that is just kind of redirecting. It's like, Cam Cody, you're a big dude, and I'm not going to be able to push you back 5 yards. So what I'm going to do is use your momentum. I'm going to take you this way, and then my buddy right here, my right guard, is going to head up and take on your guy who weighs about 100 pounds less than you, and we're going to open up a big hole. If you're Cam Cody, you just can't get moved. And right now it feels like BC's defensive line is kind of shooting up and trying to go make a play instead of just causing a stalemate, create a pile, and then let the linebackers go fly around and make a play. If you can take those two big dudes BC has on the inside and make them eat up 3-4 guys at a time, where they can just create a pile, all of a sudden those runs up the middle just aren't there. You can't run through human beings. It's not how physics works, right? You have to bounce it to the outside. So if there is an adjustment, and I guarantee you that's what they're talking about on tape in there right now, is, listen, you guys on the defensive line, it stinks. You're going to get hit. You're going to be bruised. You're going to need an ice bath, and your stat line's going to be zeros. But we need you to just eat people up and let our guys flow and make plays. And it's usually what happens when you see an option team have a lot of success, and then you go, what happened? Why are they getting stoned right now? It's because, I'm not going to tackle you 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but I'm going to tackle you 1 yard downfield, and that's a lot better than letting you bust one.
I think a lot of the play calling right now, and rightfully so, it's working, is where's number 11 lining up? We're going to roll away from him. And third's been, outside of a couple of plays, kind of a non-factor in the disruption game, because I think by design they're going away from him and saying, you're not going to come destroy our quarterback. We're going to work the other side, make Isaiah Jones come up and make a play, make some of those guys on the offside come make a play.
Yeah, and again, you can take advantage of an aggressive defensive end. And I thought third did a better job in the second half against Buford, but in the first half they were taking advantage of him shooting upfield and running underneath him. This time, they're just kind of leaving him on the weak side. BC is going to play defensive end on the strong side, go defensive tackle, and then third is playing that weak side defensive end / outside linebacker role, and they know there's just going to be less humanity on that side of the ball. So they're doing a good job of formationing over to the strong side. Thirds on this side. We're going to bring a fullback back this way and then run to that side. And it's outnumbering. He's an outstanding football player. He can't take on 3 guys at one time.
Absolutely. We're at the half. BC up 30-14. We're coming right back here on the Bernard Williams Halftime Report.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
Welcome back here at the half. BC up 30-14. Christian Gokel, and you start looking around at the half and some of the other scores. Ware County tonight, we mentioned over in Bainbridge, they were at the half. Gators winning 42-0. So they are getting it done over on the west side of the state. And so we'll see Ware County in Waycross in about a month or so as we start getting into to region play, and a lot of preseason predictions for whatever that's worth. Have BC and Ware playing twice this season, once in the regular season and then potentially again in the state championship. So Ware County, BC going to be a heck of a game there in Waycross, but just looking at some of those scores out there, that's what's coming.
And Kevin, just with the elimination of 7A, it's just compressed talent, and already per capita, probably the most talent-rich state in the country. Listen, I know there anybody out there that's watching Texas high school football, California, Florida, I get it. But when you look at per population base, per 1,000 people, how many end up going to the NFL? Georgia's up there with the best of them. So arguably the best, quote-unquote, high school football talent state in the country, and they eliminated an entire division across the top and kicked those teams down to 6A. A bunch of 6A teams got kicked down to 5A, and so on and so forth. So it's just a whole lot of consolidation of power. We've talked about the number of state champion and state champion runner-ups that are in BC's division now. When Wayne and New Hampstead are already in that division, you add Ware and Perry and Warner Robins. It's just names that you've heard for so long. This schedule is going to be unbelievable, but it's also kind of just a who's who and a dream for a high school football fan. Get to go out to Memorial Stadium in Waycross, where Hank Aaron played minor league baseball back in the day, right? Go up to a Warner Robins, welcome in a Perry to Memorial Stadium. There's not a boring game on the slate, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be a ride, but for BC, they're going to have to bring their lunch pails week in and week out.
And if you don't believe Christian on the per capita thing, I've got this here flip chart that says
I'm right.
Yes, per capita. Just go with it. Just go with what he says. But yeah, consolidation of that top class, moving it down, has changed, as you said, the landscape of high school football in the state of Georgia. The number of teams that move from 6A down to 5A, and as you said, it's deeper. You got more teams you're going to have to go through, and the playoffs, I think, are going to be tougher rounds 1 through 5 than maybe it's ever been, especially at the top.
But say what you just
football.
said again. I mean, there's going to be a 4th seed coming out of this region. And list it off again. You have Benedictine, you have Ware, you have Perry, you have Warner Robins, New Hampstead, Wayne. One of those teams is going to be a 4 seed. There's going to be a team who has the best year their high school's had in a long time, gets a 1 seed. The whole community is going to be pumped and excited about hosting a playoff game. And then they're going to look at the schedule and go, son of a gun. That's who we got week 1 in the playoffs coming up here. It is just an unbelievable region, and somebody's got to win it. Somebody's going to be left out and heartbroken at the end of it, and somebody's going to be a really salty 4 seed going on the road.
And again, you talk about just the talent you're going to see when we jump into region play. I mean, this is a Burke County team that was in region, very talented. I don't know that they would finish 5th or 6th right now in this region, but BC's obviously won 2 state championships in the last 3 years. Ware has won 1. Perry won it last year. Warner Robins, if you go to the high school historical site, Warner Robins is top 5 in the state of Georgia in wins all time in the state of Georgia. They've just been one of those programs.
Sure.
So there's those schools. And then you got Wayne and New Hampshire, which we talked about. Wayne County might be one of the best teams in South Georgia, a better team than their record at the end of the year might indicate.
Yeah.
But you feel bad for Coach Mooring. You left Country Day, went to Wayne County, and you're like, I got this schedule. I think all their non-conference game, non-region games, they're playing up. And then you've got this region to deal with, and it's you may win 1 or 2 games and be the best 2-8 team there's ever been in high school football, if you could say that, but it's crazy.
And I will say this, if you want to go see just high school football America at its best, go watch a game in Jessup at Wayne County Stadium there. I mean, it is – you got the smoke in the air from the smokers and the charbroiled burgers going on. The stadium is absolutely packed out. Everybody there knows everybody by their names, and it's really, really good football, and it has been for a long time. And like you said, they might be fighting for a couple wins this season, but it's going to be an elite football team and a team that could beat a lot of teams if it wasn't just playing a murderer's row of opponents right there. I mean, you start the season at Wayne against Glenn Academy and then followed up with Brunswick at Glenn, and then welcome in Brunswick to your stadium, 2 outstanding 5A football teams. So it's just there's no easy teams that they're playing this year, and it feels very much like BC's schedule. So there's just no weeks off. But again, we talked about the consolidation. Everything got kicked down, and those teams were going to have to go somewhere. Those Bufords, those Waltons, those Miltons were going to have to go somewhere, and those really good 5A teams that potentially got kicked down, they have to go somewhere. So just the consolidation of outstanding football teams is just making these regions. It kind of feels like college football where it's becoming super regions.
Yeah. We are at the half. Cadets lead it 30-14 over Burke County. We're coming right back. Bernard Williams halftime report here on WatchBC.com, WatchBCSports.com.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Bernard Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back here to the Bernard Williams halftime report. Kevin Thomas and Christian Gokel, as we are still counting it down towards the second half, and we talked about it just kind of jokingly with the coolness we got last weekend, the start of college football. College football well underway. We're in the smorgasbord week of football where it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday due to the Labor Day weekend of college football, and all that means is a chance to sit back on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday and watch guys that used to roll here at BC come out and play football. And Zaquan Bryan last night for Minnesota, playing North Carolina. Jakeem Harris playing out there as well. Tomorrow you've got former kicker Gavin Stewart up the road at Georgia Southern playing Boise State. He's the kickoff specialist and kickoff guy. I saw the depth chart they put out today. You have a number of guys who are out there every Saturday playing college football. Yeah.
And it's just a wealth of talent at the next level for the cadets, and it's just something you've seen year in and year out, and even more guys. I mean, next year we'll be talking about Third Scroggins out there getting ready to play in his freshman year for Miami, and Jacoby out at Auburn, seeing if he can work his way. It's tough in the SEC to get out there as a freshman, but still.
Holden Gerner at Auburn, I know he's kind of behind a entrenched starter, but I did see social media saying, hey, can we just get Cromanhawk there, Florida State? Can we get him on the field?
Listen, they drop one to Boston College. It might be like, hey, DJ, we got to start getting the next guy ready. And, man, you know what I love about looking at Luke is he still looks like BC Luke from the top of his head to about his waist. But I don't know that he's been doing anything but squatting at Florida State because his legs.
You're a big fan of not missing leg day.
No, and if I kind of ball up into a cannonball, that's one of his quads right now. The dude is looking huge. So it's a credit to BC for getting them ready, and then it's a credit for what that nutrition and strength staff can do at the next level when they get a hold of your 18, 19-year-old. It's that calorie intake goes up and those muscles start going on. It's a whole different football game. But yeah, Kevin, I am ready to sit on my couch from 9 a.m. tomorrow morning until about midnight tomorrow night. You start off with Nick Saban and some College Game Day.
Yeah, you like that adjustment there. You are a Nick Saban guy.
Listen, we talked about it on the Danny Britt Show. If you follow along there, my man crush and a guy I could just listen to talk about anything for hours is Nick Saban. So adding him to College Game Day is elite. I'm excited about that. You get 3 hours of that. You kick off Georgia Clemson at noon. And if you need a game to click to between commercials, how about Penn State at West Virginia to get things going? And then that 3:30 slot, Miami at Florida in the hottest game known to man. Gainesville 3:30 in August? That should be illegal.
Trying to help out Billy Napier.
Here we are.
The Gators,
and then, you wrap up with little Texas A&M Notre Dame there in College Station. I mean, it's going to be an outstanding day of college football.
Yeah, I think if you want to find my man Christian Gokel tomorrow, it's
hard
couch,
to find.
right side, he ain't moving.
Not hard to find. I'm in guard and tackle, Kevin.
There you go.
I'm going to sit at the end of the couch. I'm going to guard the chips, and I'm going to tackle anybody that tries to get near him.
Hey, there's worse things you could be doing by far. But, yeah, a lot of guys should be – I didn't want to forget Bryce Baker.
Yeah.
Also up at Georgia Southern.
Running back.
Yeah, he was on the running back depth chart. I don't know that he's going to make the 3 deep. They might be redshirting as well. But, yeah, Georgia Southern, Boise State, a couple of BC guys going to be on hand there. And what a big game coming to Statesboro. Boise State, Christian, I heard people talking about them, maybe a playoff contender.
So, yeah.
And if Georgia Southern could knock them off in week 1, man, what a statement that would be.
I think Clay Helton's still waiting for that first big win, that signature win. And week 1 against Boise State, that's a great opportunity.
So, again, BC guys all over the place for you guys to watch. Not mention you start trickling down FCS and you start looking at some of these box scores.
Sure.
And there's guys all over the place making plays that used to wear the maroon here for BC. We've got the second half to come. We're coming right back. Can
I give credit real quick before you throw the break? I just want to give credit because, Kevin, I don't know that I have ever seen more family support. And it might be the most grandmothers I've ever seen online in one place is in our group chat last night. So we really appreciate y'all hanging out with us here and going through this game. And we'll be on the road, so you'll be able to see the road games. And, again, of course, we have the audio call of the home games. But we love all the support and all the comments in there. I mean, it's fierce in there right now with the support for their grandchildren and their children right now out there. And it's why we do this, is the Benedictine community and what it represents. It's not just one generation. It is generation after generation after generation that rolls through here. I just have to say names like Iannone and how many times they've rolled through here, right? So we appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We hope you do it every week.
Absolutely. We're coming right back. Second half, right around the corner here on Watch BC Sports, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
BC Brothers Moving is Savannah's most trusted moving service. From residential to commercial to packing supplies, BC Brothers does it all. Let BC Brothers' energetic, trustworthy team wrap it, pack it, and move it for you. Check out BC Brothers online at bcbrothersmoving.com or give them a like on Facebook.
When it comes to blocking all the obstacles that life throws your way, let Vernon Williams and Auto Owners Insurance help you dodge the hits, analyze the playing field, and run the ball all the way home. We shield you so you can have peace of mind when it comes to auto, home, life, or business insurance. As one of the oldest and most respected independent insurance agencies in the Southeast, we know what it means to stand behind the people we protect head on. Trust in the power of the shield since 1934. For more information, go to thepoweroftheshield.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. Cadets 30-14 over Burke County. Here as we wind down the Bernard Williams halftime report. Christian Gokel. Bears are going to get the football first here to start the second half, which means BC's defense going to have to be right back out there. A chance to make a statement coming out of the locker room that, hey, we're not going to be pushed around at the point of attack.
We talked about this on Thursday with Coach Britt at Bowtie Barbecue for the Danny Britt Show. When things aren't going right, the easiest thing to try to do is switch it. Switch what you're doing. But a lot of times it's not what you're doing, it's how you're executing it. So I'm really curious to see what BC comes out and does here on defense because we talked about it. I don't think it was necessarily the scheme. It's how they were approaching it. You can't play hero ball on the defensive line. You just have to be ugly and mean and just kind of cause a stalemate right there and then let your linebackers fly around and make a play. Don't change what you're doing. Just execute better.
And then for the other side, A.J. DePhillips, got to feel confident in your offensive scheme right now, especially as the half went on there in the first half. You could run the ball a lot better than we've seen so far in 2024. And certainly Stephen Cannon buying time, passing routes. There's been guys running open all night long.
Yeah, and again, I don't think you go away from that until they force you to. If they start dropping into a dime coverage and they have you guys locked up and they're leaving 3 guys, 4 guys on the line of scrimmage, you can just run at them, fine. But until then, I'm just eating them alive in the flats as long as they'll let it happen.
So final warm-ups going on here in Memorial Stadium as, again, a muggy night here in Savannah. BC will be off next week. That was a scheduled off week. Christian Gokel, and then 2 weeks, another off week where supposed to go to Ohio. But again, we will have a game in its place on that Thursday.
Sure.
Coming up.
Yeah, we will.
We'll still have the cadets. It'll just be the young pups.
That's right.
The young cadets. We'll do one on Thursday with the JV guys that week instead.
Yeah,
and they'll be playing Jenkins.
I believe the 12th, and that'll be a 5 o'clock kick there, so it'll be nice and cool. But no, it'd be cool for a chance. Again, you got to make the best of what you got, and BC going to be off for 2 weeks now with the cancellation of that game in Ohio. So going to do the Thursday game for the scrimmage, or not scrimmage, excuse me, the JV game, and get some young guys out there and let them get some screen time. And listen, it's some pressure.
See the guys who are going to be getting their names called later.
It's pressure when the camera shows up and you're broadcasted live, and you're JV. All of a sudden, you're trying to make a play.
It's the coach's spiel come to life. Hey, what are you going to do when the lights of the camera come on? And Christian Gokel is dissecting your play. What are you going to do?
Never. You got to make plays. When that camera's on and you're live on YouTube, you got to make some plays.
So here's Connor Ferguson. He'll kick it off for BC to start the second half, left to right. So BC will be working towards the south end zone or the James Holmes Fieldhouse end of Memorial Stadium. In cadets decked out in their all grays tonight. Gray helmets, gray tops, gray pants. Burke County black pants, white tops with the blue letters and numbers, silver helmet for the Bears. Connor Ferguson, we're ready to go here in the second half. And that one's going into shallow orbit and into the end zone. And that's where Burke County will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Yeah, that one just got all of it, but it sounded like a whistle.
Did somebody get off sides on the kickoff? Looks like they did. Connor Ferguson going to. And if you're Burke County, I mean, honestly, just put it on the 20 again. But
no,
he's got plenty of leg.
No, I mean, I make him kick it again because that one was about 3 yards deep in the end zone. At least this time you have a chance to return it.
So we'll tee it up from the 35 this time. Connor Ferguson checking. Make sure everybody stays on sides this time. Burke's got 2 deep safeties back. Now if you're Danny Britt, you change it up and try a pooch kick, catch him off guard.
I mean, I'm looking over the 40 and the 50 right here. It's pretty wide open.
Here's Connor Ferguson. He just puts more leg
Did he get it there?
Oh, did he get it
there?
Oh,
my goodness.
He kicked it deeper from the 35. That's why you don't make him kick it again. It doesn't do anything.
I just lets him show off a little bit more, get some more tape.
That was a thing of beauty. Move me back 5 yards.
Right.
Fine, I'll kick it deeper. So 1st and 10 from the 20 for Burke County. And again, a big adjustment series for this cadet defense coming out of the locker room.
Well,
win the point of attack.
I'm curious, if you're Burke County, how aggressive are you right now? Because you're only down 2 scores, but at the same time, you were not stopping BC defensively. You have to go a little bit faster than you did in the first half.
Here's Van Diver under center. They'll give it to Williams off the right side, trying to find the edge, and
there you go.
Not much doing as BC strung it out, maybe a couple of yards off the right side.
That's the second time 52 has lost his hat.
For Burke County, that is Larson Little with the tackle. I think Colby Brennan was in there as well.
But we talked about it. Create a mess, and that was a better job from the 4 up front, just creating a mess on the line of scrimmage and letting the linebackers get up and go to work.
Like that technical breakdown from Christian Gokel, just make a mess.
Just make a mess, man.
Wing T look, 1 wide receiver up top of the formation for Burke as they work right to left. Cadets have 4 down linemen. Now they'll put a 5th guy up there, put his hand in the dirt. Burke's going to flip the formation, I don't think they know what they want to run here with 5 seconds. Under center goes Van Diver. Here's the give, straight ahead. Now he's going to keep it, and he'll cut back to the right. First down and more. 35.
Man.
Boy, just lowered the shoulder. That was Luke Croman-Hawkaski just dipped the shoulder and drive through the chest of the safety that time and push him 2 or 3 more yards up the field.
I was going to say it was a little Josh Nesbitt-esque from his Georgia Tech days in the flex mode. I mean, just a quarterback ISO there. You kind of ride the fullback. Everybody crashes down. You pull it, and you follow where the fullback went. Everybody's already tackling the fullback, and he takes it for about 15 yards there, Kevin. That's just a play as old as football.
So 1st and 10 for Burke County out near the BC 40. Or excuse me, the Burke County 40. Here's the play action to the near side. Van Diver has the man over the middle. Dropped. He was looking for Cordarius Free, who was free over the middle, but did not catch the football.
And that's the 3rd or 4th time where he's done a great job of setting his feet off the play action, finding somebody, hitting him right in the numbers, and a drop just kills the momentum. I mean, he's balling out at quarterback tonight.
And again, nothing seemingly straight ahead, at least from the pre-snap motion, guys moving, flopping the formation, the rollouts.
I mean, you see why they put up almost 100 points coming into this game through 2 games.
And here's a little counter sweep coming back the other way, nicely read. And that time, Big Cam Cody meets the running back in the hole coming the other way. That is Free.
Yeah.
And he'll get 2 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Just a better job staying at home that time, not flowing with the play, just controlling your gap. Running back comes back to it, make a tackle, just 2 yards on that play.
And when Cam gets his mitts on you, you're not going anywhere. He just swallowed him up that time. 3rd down and 8. Big down for the BC defense. Here's the snap. They'll roll right side. Van Diver looking, has a man caught just beyond the sticks into BC territory at the Cadet 48. And that'll be a 1st down. Nice rollout, and there's a flag. And this looks like it's going against Burke County. One of their offensive linemen is slapping the turf. Deontay Gross, a senior offensive lineman, must have done something he didn't think he did. My guess would be holding.
Yeah. And again, you're in an obvious passing situation on 3rd and 8, and they completely boot away from 3rd Scroggins because they just know he's eaten. And I think they might have gotten our defensive end on the other side with a hold.
And if you're Franklin Stevens, that drives you nuts because other than that, you well executed the boot rollout. Your receiver was open. You made the throw.
So last time they were in this situation, Kevin, it was just a quick tunnel screen underneath. It looks like they're going to spread BC out wide. I would not be surprised if they do it again.
Yeah, trips here to the near side, back to that side. Now they'll put quads out there. You had a little fake. They're going to underneath tunnel screen, and he dropped it. And it just kind of floated up there in the air a little bit and fell to nobody. So BC with a chance maybe missed, and then a risk averted there by Burke County.
Yeah, and again, it's a safe play on a long down and distance, but nice job by BC. I think, listen, if I can kind of guess what's coming, Galen Housen and that defensive staff, Danny Brent and them probably know what's coming there as well. So great play call there defensively for BC, and Kevin, a stop to start this half.
So Burke's going to punt the football on 4th and 18. Double safeties for the Cadets. They're coming after it. Just missed it. A little line driver. He's going to skip, and BC lets it go. Bubba Frazier let it go, and you see all the BC coaches collectively jumping up and down going, you can't do that.
Yeah, you send two guys back there with the express purpose of you have to be the one who stops that ball from going. It doesn't matter if there's 7 guys around you. You can fair catch and they can't hit you, but the BC guys let it roll past them. That's just going to drive Danny Britt crazy as a head coach, but also a special teams coordinator.
First possession here, the second half for the offense. Stephen Cannon, magnificent in the first half. Outside of one play where he fumbled the football, but doing a really good job. Bunch formation here to the left of Stephen Cannon. He's got a tight end over there in Lilly. Here's the snap. They'll give it to Stanley Smart. He cuts back inside, lowers the boom, pushing out towards the 30, maybe a yard and a half, 2 yards off that left side.
Still just haven't been able to get him going so far this year. I think he had like 55 yards in game 2 against Buford. They were important yards, but just teams loading the box to stop the run against BC. They want to make Stephen Cannon, the new guy, beat him through the air.
I'll be interested to talk to Danny Britt about that, just the interior run game and just trying to get that on track. Here's the snap. Cannon on second down, looking all kinds of time. Over the middle, wide open and caught. And it's the 40, 45, 50. 45 into Burke County territory, pushing ahead to the 40. Still driving inside towards the 35. And a big first down. Was that Bubba Frazier? No, that was Josh Washington. Again, yeah.
He's got that tucked up jersey. It's hard to see. But he's having a game.
And Josh Washington, bunch of big catches tonight, becoming a viable option there in the passing game.
Say a little bit more than viable.
Yeah. BC not got the play they want. They're not lined up right now. They'll flip.
They got time. More than 20 seconds left on the play clock.
A wide receiver here. It's going to be Cole Henderson, a sophomore. They try to get lined up.
Big sophomore.
Here's the snap to Cannon, looking here to the near
Bubba's
side.
Open.
He's got pressure trying to get away. Nicely recovered, still rolling, still trying to find something. Going to tuck it, and he'll be sacked back at the 40. Bought all kinds of time. And what did you see downfield that time?
Bubba Frazier from the jump. It was just misalignment from Burke. He was wide open down the sideline, but instant pressure from Burke. Stephen Cannon kind of dropped his eyes and never found him up again. So, I mean, he had 3 or 4 chances. If he could just looked up, he would have seen 2 gray jerseys standing wide open at about the 5-yard line.
So, second down and 14 after the sack.
When we talk about adjustments, I mean, they're just going cover 4 shell, and they're not really changing.
Here's the give. Smart straight ahead and just give him a couple.
That's all right.
Down to about the 36-yard line. Gets 4 of those yards back. It'll be 3rd and 10. And again, those are plays that don't seem like much, but if you can get 4 yards of crack with the running game, it's just been tough to come by for the interior run most of this season so far.
Yeah, I just think it's how defenses are playing them. It's still, Kevin, again, you look at 7 guys in the box right now, and BC's got just 5 offensive linemen. So just that numbers game, you're not usually going to win that. So you have to continue to throw the football until teams soften up.
Empty backfield for BC here on third. Here's Stephen Cannon rolling to his left, has a man too high over the middle, had Bubba Frazier. And again, they were running that concept, Christian. You had Frazier coming across short. Williams was coming the other way across about 10 yards deeper, and Cannon just overthrew him.
Yeah, and just having to move a little bit of pressure coming off the left side there. I think he had time to plant his feet and throw it. They just sent 3, but just, again, misses a guy over the middle a little bit high.
Cadets going to go for this. They're kind of in no man's land at the 36. They need the 26 for a first down. Trips here to the short side, 1 receiver, top of the formation. Stanley Smart to the right of Stephen Cannon. Here's the snap. Cannon, straight drop. He'll move here to the near side, rolling. Going to wind up, throw across his body. Caught Bubba Frazier right at the sticks. Yep, they're going to mark him for a first down at the 25. So an 11-yard pass. And, Christian, that's a throw I don't think a lot of people will appreciate, throwing across his body back towards the middle of the field.
No, that was a great job there from Stephen Cannon, just keeping his eyes downfield, letting it develop, and is able to push that one down to Bubba Frazier. Big first down for the Cadets.
So give them the conversion on 4th down. And they're right up on the ball, twins either side. Now they're ready to wait for the chains to get set. So on 1st down, Cannon, straight drop, looking, all kinds of time. Winds up, throws over the middle, in and out of the hands. He had Josh Washington wide open, and one of the few bad things he's done tonight, he hit him right in the hands and dropped it.
Yeah, I think that one, Kevin, is just a little bit of a heater there from Stephen Cannon when you needed some touch.
So maybe throw the change up, not the fastball.
Yeah, I mean, just got to lead your receiver there a little bit instead of trying to pull his hands off of that throw.
So 2nd down and 10 here for BC. 6:13 to go here in the 3rd. And again, despite the score, Burke County has really, from a lot of the night, done a good job moving the football. BC comes out of the locker room and shuts that down, and now Cadets want a timeout. There's been all kind of confusion on this series. A couple of times they're not lined up correctly, and I think they finally just got to get on the same page.
I think you have a couple players, Josh Washington specifically, who's had to come out a couple of times, and it's just getting that next guy in and communicating the play to him has been difficult. I think they're trying to keep Mekhi Williams fresh for defense, and so kind of get into the depth chart a little bit with that 5th wide receiver, 6th wide receiver, pushing them in. I think there's been some miscommunications, but still, excellent job working the ball down the field. You got to feel like a touchdown here, Kevin, puts all of the pressure squarely on Burke County sideline.
Maybe one of the few games in the first 3 where they've had breathing room. So BC burned a timeout here. And now they'll break the timeout. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And they'll have both Williams and Frazier top of the formation, bunched up by John Lilly, the tight end. One other receiver here to the near side is going to be Karan Hall. Here's the snap. And, boy, they had a couple of misdirections going on there, but false start on BC is going to back them up. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, just a couple of guys moving at the same time at the snap. That hurts coming out of a timeout.
So 2nd and 15. And you kind of started the drive off well in the last handful of plays. Some miscommunication on who was supposed to be lined up where and had to waste a timeout. And now you're going backwards. Cannon will put Smart over to his left, twins either side. Burke making an adjustment defensively. Here's the snap. Cannon rolls here to the right, trying to avoid some pressure, winds up, throws short and dropped. Maybe underthrown, was looking for, who was that, Mekhi Williams, and just kind of threw it down near the ankles, and he couldn't come up with it. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Still hit him in the hands, but that would have been a Travis Hunter-esque catch if he was able to pull it in.
And again, now maybe more in the field goal range, but I think maybe still 2-down territory here if you can get a good chunk of yards here on 3rd and 15.
Yeah, don't be surprised if BC goes screen here. There's a lot of downfield passing the last few plays.
Trips to the left. You've got Bubba Frazier offset of Stephen Cannon in the backfield. Now they'll motion him out in the flat. Empty set for Cannon. Here's the snap. Here comes Burke on a blitz. Cannon rolling. Going to be hit as he throws. No! How did he hang on to that? And he's going to be sacked. And I thought he was about to let it go and maybe fumble the football, but going to lose yardage back to the 33.
Yeah, at that time they sent just too many guys on that side, overload blitz, and a man came free. Stephen Cannon, you kind of know as a quarterback when you're looking away, when the sideline starts screaming, you probably know you got somebody behind you. So just an excellent job of him getting there and able to just hold on to it on that sack, give Connor Ferguson a chance.
Connor Ferguson going to trot on for a 50-yard field goal from the right hash. Out of the hole to Robert Leonard. Here's the snap. Hold is good. Plenty of leg from Connor. Is it on line? It is! 50-yard field goal. Connor Ferguson, it's 33-14, and he's showing off the leg here tonight, Christian Goodell.
I mean, Kevin, that was good from 60. That's just outstanding. And honestly, into the wind a little bit there, too. That guy's got a special talent.
Cadets up 33-14. A nice drive there by BC, and they extend that lead. And, Christian, wasn't the touchdown I think you were hoping for, but you put points on the board, made it a productive drive.
Yeah, just, again, you mentioned it. It kind of got weird. Once you got past, like, the 40, kind of stalled out a little bit, kicked yourself a little bit, and some unforced errors. But the fact that you have that in your back pocket, 50-yard field goal, not a lot of high school football teams in America can say that. So a big-time score there for the Cadets and makes it a 3-score football game.
5:14 to go in the third. Connor Ferguson will kick it off here for the Cadets. My guess is Burke County's going to have it 1st and 10 at the 20.
I would assume so.
BC doesn't know who's supposed to be on the kick team right now. I think they got some Danny Britt's having a conniption over there about special teams mistakes and who's supposed to be on the kick coverage. And here's Connor Ferguson, and he will put it 5 yards deep into the end zone.
Sounds about right.
But, boy, he was letting somebody have it over there when – and, again, you work on all this stuff, Christian, so you say, Coach, somebody just – hey, you got to know, hey, it's kickoff. I'm on the field.
Yes. And they go over it. We've seen it, Kevin. Before the game, the coaches stand out there and walkthroughs and go, kickoff, PAT, this offensive unit, this offensive unit. And guys just kind of waller over and then waller back and then waller over. You've had plenty of chances to know. Just you start talking to your friend on the sideline about that Georgia Clemson game tomorrow. You're up 3 scores. You go, oh, dang-gummit.
1st and 10 for Burke from their own 20 to start this drive. 5:14 to go here in the third, and flag gets thrown. Threw a flag and pointed towards BC. It came out from the far sideline. I mean, nobody was even getting set. I don't know how that was. Offsides against BC. Did they jump across and touch somebody? I didn't see it.
It must have been.
So 1st and 5 now for Burke. Here's the snap. Van Diver throws a short, batted down. Third Scroggins gets his mitts up there off the left side. And it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Yeah, I mean, that time going at him, and you see just the talent that he has. He's getting blocked, kind of clipped him a little bit too on the edge, and he's able to get his hands up and knock it down.
So 2nd down and 5. And now, again, as you start getting closer towards the fourth quarter, Burke County might have to start getting more and more one-dimensional here. Here's a give straight ahead, and Williams going to get 4.5. He's going to be awfully close. Cam Cody there to wrap him up.
They're going to stop the clock.
They're going to give him the first down.
Yeah.
So move the chains on a 5-yard carry. And you can definitely see why Burke County is going to be a tough out.
Yes.
So 1st and 10 from the Bear 30-yard line. Clock rolls inside of 5 minutes here. And Burke County back there in the wing tee. Van Diver under center. He'll motion left to right. They'll go straight ahead. And straight ahead for 15 yards. Brought down by Gonzalez, the safety. And that was Chris Flournoy.
And now if you're Burke, you just have to keep running your offense. You can't get outside yourself here. Try to go down, put up another touchdown, make it a 12-point game, and then you just have to rely on your defense and hope that they can make a couple of stops.
And you're getting beat, as you said, Christian, on the meat and potatoes. That's a fullback dive, a staple, and you just ran it 15 yards straight down your throat.
Well, again, if you let an offensive lineman get to that second level in the linebackers, it's going to be a 10 yards a clip.
So here's 1st and 10 out at the Burke 45.
Oh, what a play
throw
by
underneath. Oh, he bought some time and made the receiver catch it right around 50-yard line, and into BC territory goes. That's going to be Kelvon Scott for another 15 yards. Just buying a little time on the rollout and finding a man underneath.
Yeah, he had 2 screens on, one from each side, and that time looked to the left, wasn't there, came back to the right, and I thought Third Scroggins was there to make a play, but he's just kind of backing up. He didn't know where the receiver was looking at the quarterback. Quarterback did a good job, kind of like a shortstop, side-arming it into that angle, getting it to his receiver, and he already had his offensive lineman releasing downfield. Just really good play design.
And again, Van Diver, give him a lot of credit. He is running this offense
Yes,
beautifully.
But BC right now, the goal is keep 2 guys back, don't let anything behind you, and make them earn this 5-6 yards at a time.
Play action. Van Diver going to go deep over the middle.
And see, that's a great job by BC in coverage.
Great coverage there. Is that Zach Maxwell up the right side in coverage as they were running up the seam.
And he ran that route better than a receiver and almost had an interception. So, again, you just can't let them beat you over the top. If they're going to do it 5-10 yards at a time, that's fine. That's going to keep taking time off the clock. You as a defense can't let them get one back quick here because that puts them right back in the football game.
So 2nd down and 10. 3.5 minutes to go here in the third quarter.
Oh. BC cheerleaders showing off the arm, slinging some T-shirts into the crowd.
Van Diver under center. They'll run a quarterback keeper here to the near side. Oh, what a play, Cam Cody. Big man tracked him down and pulled Van Diver down from behind. He's going to lose a yard to be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, that time Cam Cody able to slip his man. They just ran that quarterback counter option. When Cam Cody gets his paws on you and he outweighs you by 120 pounds, usually not going to be a good thing for you.
Yeah, they've had a lot of success with that kind of counter speed option. So 3rd and 11.
I mean, how about the makeup speed there coming from a nose tackle
yeah.
and running down a smaller quarterback? That's a lot of guy moving really fast.
BC will go smaller on the front. They bring in Lilly at defensive end.
It's pretty much been screens in this scenario.
And now a straight drop. Van Diver, Lilly hits him in the back, but he gets the throw out.
Drag route.
And going to get the first down. Oh, popped right at the sticks by Makai Williams.
Good night. What a hit.
Was Kelvon Scott, and that was some stack lumber.
That's
some stack firewood right there.
That's the same play BC runs. You have a drag route coming like right across the line of scrimmage, and then you have a guy about 5-10 yards deeper than him. So you give yourself some level options. And that time the quarterback did a good job of looking at his matchups. He had a slot receiver on a linebacker. Usually a slot receiver is going to win that speed race. Dumps it out right before he gets hit, and his receiver's able to just get to the line of scrimmage before Makai Williams absolutely lit him up.
Cadets will flip their formation defensively as Burke County trying to run it to the right side. Oh, hurdling a man, and somebody got up there, maybe Colby Brennan.
Todd Gurley-esque.
Yeah, that was Williams trying to take the right side, and I think Larson Little lit him up once he got in the air.
And BC now going from John Lilly, sending in another defensive lineman, so adding some beef.
Yeah, going back to Paul Thompson over there. And it's interesting, we haven't seen him necessarily make that switch a lot, going kind of a lighter, faster, even though Lilly plays tight end. He's not quite the scale of Paul Thompson over there.
Yeah, and I think you were kind of in a 3-4. Now you're going to go more to that bear front look. 4 down lineman with the 5th guy kind of walking up to the line now that you're in the red zone.
2nd and 4 from the BC 18. Burke County putting together a drive. They're going to change the play. Now BC's going to change their alignment. They'll put 3rd over on the strong side. Here's the give. They'll try to, they can't bootleg Williams out there, and BC strings that. Boy, they fooled me up here.
Yeah. Again, I know.
And that was what Zach Maxwell with the tackle on the far side.
And I know Burke, I think we might have a cadet down with a cramp, but Burke is moving the football, but look how much time has come off the clock, Kevin. Yeah, I think, is that Makai Williams?
I cannot see over there who that is. Trying to count numbers as they run here to the near side. There's Makai. He's running across.
Looks like a defensive back down for the cadets.
Maybe Zach Maxwell's over here. Can't see who it is.
It looked like he was trying to stretch out a calf, and it's just when that thing goes sometimes. There was a breeze earlier, Kevin, but as the sun went down, it's just kind of stagnated.
Yeah. It's gotten muggy out here. Danny Britt walking across the field to see what's going on here. We'll take a break while they tend to the injured cadet. Try to let you know who that is when we come back. 1 minute 2 to go here in the third. And this is Cadets football built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful. And Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium. The injured cadet is up and walking off the field, holding his arm. Is that 3rd Scroggins?
I think it might be.
It is 3rd. Kind of holding that elbow area on his left arm. Don't know if maybe just a stinger. Now he's kind of let go of it.
He's kind of gripping that hand a little bit, shaking and rolling it out.
So it looks like third's going to be all right, but it's going to come out for a play or two at least. And now 3rd down and 2 for Burke County.
Roll the clock.
They go in that straight power formation. They'll run it again. Williams, he'll have the first down inside the 15 to the 14.
Yeah, they run right to where third wasn't.
And it looks like, they're checking that shoulder maybe for a stinger over there on the near sideline.
And again, it's been some hard-hitting football tonight, and that time you just meet a guy that weighs as much as you, if not more, and he's going faster than you. That hurts.
So 1st and 10 inside a minute. Here left in the quarter. Boy, Burke County taking all kinds of time.
You got to get this one right. You have to get into the end zone here and make it a 2-score game going into the 4th quarter.
Little muddle huddle caught BC off guard. They come back near side and inside the 10 down to the 9. Oh, Larson Little and somebody kind of mixing it up after the play.
I think it was they were both given as good as they were taking.
But again, Burke's kind of gotten BC not ready on that muddle huddle a couple of times.
Well, BC tries to switch. They try to go strong side, weak side, and you have to wait until the offense breaks. But muddle huddle, you just got to get lined up.
Let's see if Franklin Stevens is yelling at his team to hurry up. They're trying to get this snap off.
It's like a timeout here.
And takes the snap, and they'll roll near side. Oh, they rolled the wrong way, and Van Diver takes a sack. There's that John Lilly.
Great job
or Estabrook with the tackle for a loss. We'll go to the 4th. It's going to be 3rd and long for Burke County deep in BC territory. This is Cadet Football on WatchBCSports.com, built by Rinkin Ace Hardware.
Bowtie Barbecue has always been a work of passion. It takes time, skill, and a blend of perfect temperature, wood, smoke, and meats. We just took it up a notch. Taste the passion. Bowtie Barbecue, 6724 Waters Avenue, Savannah. Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Rooms 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com. At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back here to Memorial Stadium as we go to the 4th. Cadets lead at 33-14. It'll be 3rd and 15 for Burke County. And again, Franklin Stevens was urging his team to hurry up. And I think they executed.
Yeah.
Everybody rolled left. Van Diver rolled right, and all he saw was gray jerseys over there.
Yeah, and Franklin Stevens was trying to basically use still a timeout there. If you just let that clock roll until the end of the 4th quarter, you're just giving BC that timeout there. So you're trying to get one more play in. You're still down 3 scores here. But I think that one, you rushed it a little bit, put your team in a bad spot here on 3rd down.
So 3rd down and long here for Burke. They're on the BC 17 out of the wing tee. Here's a little play action. Van Diver, bottled up.
And
Larson
I think
Little,
that's going to be a flag.
Larson Little, Paul Thompson.
That's got to be grounding, no?
Isaiah Jones
There it
all
is.
met him, and there's a flag a minute and a half late. Intentional grounding against Burke County, so that'll be a loss of down, 4th down.
Yeah, so it's going to back him up even more. Basically just the equivalent of a sack.
So they give Paul Thompson the official sack.
Yeah, and they were trying to run another screen there, but again, BC sent 3 and had their 5 guys basically playing linebacker there, sitting about 5 yards deep, eating up anybody coming across there. That's a great job.
So 4th down.
You going to try this field goal?
No, they're going for it. Van Diver out here. It's going to be 4th and 26.
But there's some new receivers we haven't seen so far, so all I'm thinking is maybe some speed.
So Van Diver out of a shotgun. BC playing off coverage. Here's the snap. And what happened?
BC timeout.
I don't think they can hear what's going on. Sideline warning against Burke County. So, and if nothing else, BC just got a free look at whatever that play was going to be.
Again, I don't know that we've seen 10 very much so far tonight at wide receiver. And they brought in a couple guys. So maybe just a speed package.
So trips up top. Again, BC stays in off coverage. Van Diver looking, going to get flushed to his right, and he got out of the hold of Cam Cody. Now BC giving chase, rolling back to his left, throws underneath.
What a throw.
It is caught, and coming back near side, 10, and dumped at the 8.
Goodness.
Oh, my goodness, they almost converted that first down. He's going to be about 4 yards short, but
that was
on 4th and 25, you gave up 20.
That was Johnny Manziel-esque, and it's a broken play. I mean, you have 4 BC defenders in his lap as soon as the play snaps. Cam Cody had him wrapped up, but somehow Van Diver able to get away from him. Backs all the way up to the 50-yard line, starts moving back towards the line of scrimmage, and is able to find his receiver. And at that point, Kevin, the defense doesn't know where everybody is, so almost bust that for a first down. That was as close as it gets.
Burke County had a man down, I think, suffering from some cramps.
I think suffering from coming up 3 yards short
Well,
on that
true.
play, man. That's tough.
So Cadets will be backed up in their own territory. The ball is just inside the 5-yard line. They've got 95 and a football length to go to pay dirt.
Yeah, and I think, Kevin, here you're just running your offense. There's so much time left in this game. You want to work clock, but you still have to run your offense.
Stephen Cannon will put his heels on the goal line. Stanley Smart next to him, trips here to the near side. One receiver top of the formation. Here's the snap. Inside give to Smart. He'll not make it to the line of scrimmage. He'll get pushed back. And again, Christian, that's got to be a point of concern for BC, that he just cannot establish the interior run game at all.
I mean, it's a concern, but at the same time, again, Burke County is lining up to stop the run right now. They're leaving 4 guys in coverage and saying, BC, come beat us through the air. And so far, Coach DePhillips has done a great job of calling up plays to do just that. But still, you start a drive where you want to at least burn some clock. You're going to run the football. Now I think BC gets back to their normal sets. Split out wide here with 3.
2nd down, 11. Did somebody from Burke jump off sides?
I don't think they're saying he went all the way. He thought he did.
He rolled that neck around and said, no, didn't do it.
Plenty of time on the play clock.
Cadets will reset, and a snap. Cannon back in his end zone, going to get flushed. Looking, got plenty of room. Still rolling to his left, going to wind up throw, and it is caught. Jack Ganem at the 25 and rolled out of bounds at the 30. And that's a big-time throw from your quarterback, Stephen Cannon.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. He was dancing in the end zone for about 5-6 seconds, working his eyes downfield. His receiver's doing a good job of finding some pockets in the defense. And then how about the arm, Kevin? Again, going the wrong way, throwing that one 35 yards just on a dime.
Jack Ganem just sitting down in that zone by the sideline.
That was a special throw.
And we've got accustomed to kind of seeing those throughout the years here at BC. Here's the snap. Cannon going to get it out quickly. It's caught out in the flat. This is Bubba Frazier, makes a man miss, and then gets tripped up.
You say that, but I don't know that Holden Garriner or Luke Cromanok, I understand those are hallowed names for very, very good reasons, but
are you about to say something disrespectful?
not hyperbolic or anything. I don't know if they made those plays quite as well, right? On the run, layering passes 30 yards deep, that's different.
2nd down and 4 on the 6-yard completion to Bubba Frazier. Here's Cannon. He'll give it inside. This is Smart. Nowhere to go. He's going to lose it all the way back to the 33-yard line. So they got 6 on first, lost 6 on 2nd down. He was wrapped up by Aries McCrae for Burke County. So 3rd and 10 here for the Cadets. Trips up top, one receiver, bottom of the formation. He'll move Bubba Frazier out, and empty backfield for Cannon. Straight drop. Nice protection. Man over the middle was looking for Frazier. I think Frazier wanted an interference.
I think
Danny
Britt
Britt
wanted holding too, and I think that was very clearly holding.
I was going to say it wasn't pass interference, but they definitely had maybe a little piece of.
Yeah. To be fair, though, triple coverage, ref's probably not calling it in that situation.
So it'll be 4th down. Cadets will have to punt with 9:19 to go.
And
here
Kevin
in the ball
looking
game.
down there, 3rd's got an ice pack on that elbow. I don't think we're going to see him in this football game. 3-score lead, 9 minutes to go. I understand there's a lot of ball game left, but probably don't want to risk him here.
Punt is a good one. Good night. Lost it up there in the clouds from Connor Ferguson. It's touched up inside the 20. Another ginormous punt from Connor Ferguson.
54-yard punt.
I looked up and I'm like, where'd the ball go? It got lost in the night sky. And this BC defense back out there.
And
I think this is a simple message. Like, no matter what they get, make them take a good while to do it.
Right, and that's why that last drive hurt so much for your Burke County. I think, 6-7 minutes on that drive, and it was like you got to score. And you just shoot yourself in the foot when you get down inside the red zone. That one, I think, might come back to haunt Burke unless they can get a couple of really quick scores. Because it hurts even more now because you get the stop on defense.
First and 10 for Burke County. From their own 18. Here's the snap. Van Diver going to ride the belly. Give it. Met hit in the corner was Kelvon Scott. I don't know who laid the lumber there.
A few BC defenders there. They try to do that veer again where you send a man in motion and you kind of ride him, see if he's going to go on the jet sweep or you're going to pull it. I think Van Diver probably should have pulled that one. He might still be running, but instead he kind of just set his guy up like a pin at a bowling alley.
Might have been Cameron Gonzalez, and we've seen him a lot playing down from that safety spot. Really bringing the lumber that time. 8.5 to go here in this ball game. Trips out wide to the right of the formation for the Bears. Takes the snap, dug out. Van Diver rolling near side, going to wind up, throw on the run.
Oh, man.
He was trying to fit it in the window. Isaiah Jones was there in coverage.
I think Isaiah Jones almost ran that route better than a receiver. If that had been an accurate pass, it's going the other way for BC.
So 3rd down and 11.
And Danny Britt's talked about him a lot as a ball player, a guy who kind of plays that hybrid. Some teams call it star, some teams call it joker. They traditionally called us a nickelback, but a guy who's playing linebacker / safety there, and that came all the way across the field. And again, kind of ran the route for a really fast receiver. That was impressive.
He's kind of taken that Bryce Baker side of things, with 3rd occupying the other side.
Yeah. Bryce pretty much played everywhere.
So 3rd and 11. Here's the snap. Van Diver looking underneath screen, and that was read beautifully. Paul Thompson ate that one up, along with who was that? Colby Brennan. And if you're looking for good news about this defense, your two middle linebackers, Colby Brennan, Larson Little, both 10th graders.
Yeah, and again, pitching a shutout here, Kevin, in the second half so far. And that we've talked about what adjustments do you make. It's not so much an adjustment. It's just telling the defensive line, stay where you are. At that time, instead of shooting upfield, the defensive line caused a stalemate. And when they tried to throw a screen, they were there to act.
So now Burke going to punt the football. BC almost got there. A low line driver going to hit and scooped up at the 45. Coming back here all the way across the 50 is Bubba Frazier, the 45-40 near side's got a wall set up 30. 35, 25, 20, pushed out of bounds at the 18-yard line. A nice return, and Bubba didn't let that one skip through that time.
And you see what happens, Kevin, when you don't let the ball roll past you. You have to go flying up there with your hair on fire and catch those balls, even if they're rolling. That's why they put you out there on that hand seam. They have 2 guys back there to split the field in half to stop those rugby-style kicks. And when you do it, you just picked up what? If that ball had kept rolling, that's at the 30, and now you're set up inside their 20. I mean, that's more than 50 yards of field position that you just picked up by just picking up the football.
Yeah, Coach Britt always says you let the ball roll on a punt, you cost yourself 15 yards on average.
Jake Scott won a Super Bowl MVP for the Miami Dolphins back in the day for doing just that. You'd go flying up there, and it'd be the coolest fair catches you've ever seen in your life, but it's flying up there in the middle of a bunch of people that are going to potentially hit you. You just have to go make that fair catch. That's what your job is as a returner.
So here's Cannon. Got it back to either side here on 1st down from the Bears 18. He'll put John Lilly to the right at that tight end spot. Here's the snap. Play action. Cannon, a wheel route. Bubba Frazier dropped it at the 2. He had to wait on that football a little bit and underthrown just a touch and had to make a great play on the ball and just came up short.
Yeah, BC trying to put the nail in the coffin there with the little play action wheel route, and you got to put the ball up, but it was a great play by the defensive back, just running with Bubba Frazier, got his head around, and the ball kind of careened off his back there, but still, I like the aggressiveness there.
So 2nd and 10 for the Cadets here at the 18 of Burke County. 7:32 left in this ball game. They'll motion out Stanley Smart, empty backfield for Cannon. Steven on a straight drop, looking. He's going to step up in the pocket, flush to his left, winds up, throws, has a man short at
First
the 10.
down.
That's going to be
might be a yard short.
That was caught by Josh Washington again at the 9. It's going to be third and very short.
I mean, just his ability to stay in the pocket, move upfield, and keep his eyes downfield and deliver strikes is just outstanding for a junior quarterback, just in his third start.
Extending plays will get it done. And how about Josh Washington tonight, just coming up with big catch after big catch and made that one in traffic.
You found a guy. And now Mekhi Williams split out wide at the bottom.
I formation behind Cannon. They'll give it straight ahead. Bubba Frazier, he'll get the first down.
A little bit different there, Kevin. Usually we see a toss sweep out of the eye. That time just a lead.
And I think you got to show that you're willing to do that. Otherwise, everybody's going to sell on the toss sweep. And a first down for BC. Are we thinking he didn't get it? Seemed to me he clearly got the first down. They put the ball down at the 8. BC's lining up like it's first down.
They're going to measure
They're
it.
going to bring the chains in and measure.
You know,
They missed it by a credit card earlier
They want to
tonight.
get it on the action.
So Cadets trying to put this one to bed if they can punch it in the end zone
That's gotta
here.
be a first down.
That's a first down for BC to be first and goal from the 8.
A little Limp Biscuit on a radio. Party like it's 1995.
You got Fred Durst looking like a grandpa now out there. Play clock is rolling. BC still huddled up here on the near sideline. I think the referee's like, hey, that was not a timeout, it was just a measurement. Let's go.
That's still 30 seconds on the play clock. You can work this one all the way inside of 6 minutes here.
Power formation to the left. Everybody in tight. One wide receiver way outside to the right. The snap to give. This is going to be inside. Is that Bubba Frazier?
That's Stanley Smart.
Stanley Smart. Inside to the 5. Give him 3. Again, the gray uniforms. I hear people tell me that. Sometimes you get confused with the numbers. I'm like, when they start sweating gray and maroon, not too dissimilar.
Yeah, you ain't lying. GHSA passed a rule. They're going to give teams some years to phase it out because they know you've already purchased the uniforms, but pretty soon it's going to have to be light on dark and dark on light because you kind of flip it the other way. There's some silver numbers on white uniforms where you're just like, all right.
So second and goal for BC. Here's the snap. Cannon on a straight drop.
Great
onto
route.
the fade route. Too
Oh,
strong.
man.
Had Mekhi Williams going that way. Just threw it a little deep. And did what you're supposed to do. Threw it at the pylon, but
Yeah.
maybe a
I think
touch
Mekhi,
too early.
Well, I think Mekhi maybe took a couple steps in too far. You just got to get that jab inside and then sprint to that back pylon. I think he started looking at Steven and kind of backtrot a little bit instead of just burning for that back pylon.
Third and goal from the 7.
And I wonder, man, like
It's actually the 6.
what's Mekhi Williams' spot at the next level? He's built like a receiver, but man, he hits like a safety.
He sure does. 5:24 to go here in the ball game. Steven on a straight drop. Cannon with some pressure. Boy, how did he get out of that? Throws it. Oh, had a man in the back of the end zone and just threw it wide. That was going to be Jack Gannum. How in the world did he get out of that sack, Christian?
Again, he's navigating the pocket very well. Hasn't been the best night for pass pro for the BC offensive line, but he's staying in the pocket, sliding, moving through. That's just from all those drills where your coaches are throwing medicine balls at you when you're out there dodging them. Danny Britt's throwing brooms at you. Right, you just got to get out of the way and then deliver a pass. Did a great job keeping his eyes downfield, but still a chance to extend the lead here for the Cadets, and I feel pretty confident with this guy kicking.
Yeah, Connor Ferguson. It will be a 23-yarder from the left hash, and he drills it right through there. 36-14, 5:14 to go in the ball game. And the Cadets extend that lead. And again, Christian, second half, this is more the complete performance I think people were expecting to see out of this football team.
Yeah, and again, you go back to earlier in the game. I know you end up getting the safety on the drive, but you were 2 yards away from punching the ball into the end zone for another touchdown. You've had a couple of drives stall out inside the 20, but outside of that, the offense has just been moving at will up and down the field. And then again, we were hard on the defense in the first half, and they've given up some big plays in the second half, but when it counts, when they get inside their 30 and their 20, they're able to stand up, bow their back a little bit, and they haven't given up a point in the second half so far.
So Connor Ferguson will take the snap or take the kickoff right to left.
I think that Connor Ferguson one was enough to send some of the BC fans home early.
A lot of folks
They're like, all right.
head to the parking lot, maybe a tad bit of tailgating left to do. This is just the pre-tailgate before the college football tailgate. Connor Ferguson going to drive this one about 87 yards
I'm telling
deep
you,
into
the
the
wind's
back of the
blowing
end
that
zone.
way.
And 1st and 10 from the 20 for Burke County.
That's, man, listen, this is impressive. And we see great wide receivers, great running backs, great defensive ends all over. Watching a great kicker just get to do his thing, drilling the football 10 yards deep into the end zone, hitting 50-yard field goals, punting the ball 54 yards. I mean, it's going to be fired up. That's special.
It's not, you got to get spoiled seeing it. And you're like, not everybody has that in their back pocket.
That's different. There's colleges out there right now that are going.
We would take a touchback.
Yeah, please.
So 1st and 10 for Burke County. They got trips up top. Here's Van Diver. He'll roll to his left, looking, going to wind up, throw short and incomplete. Had a man, but threw it behind him and incomplete. And again, that's one where you're just on a straight sprint out and you're trying to get those shoulders squared and rolling to your left for a right-handed quarterback.
That's tough. But again, you're just trying to get the defense going the wrong way. And that time the receiver kind of cut out towards the sideline, but started making his way back across the field going against the grain. He was open, but it's hard to make that connection. Two people moving in different directions.
Trips to the left. Here on this formation, Van Diver, quick slant
Great
route
throw.
is caught wide open, 1st down across the 35, breaks a tackle, 45 out near midfield before he is brought down by Marquis Williams. And that was just a straight slant route. I think BC's got some guys.
Yeah, they layered them on top of each other.
From the second unit in there. And that, actually, now that I look at it, I think this might be the entire second team defense.
Maybe a couple secondary guys still playing, but yeah.
Up on that defensive front, you've got number 97, Jameer Lee.
He's a stud.
Freshman.
Dangerous, super excited about him.
So 1st and 10. Here's the snap, a little quick out. And going to find 5-6 yards and a 1st down before he is still going. 14 yards on the play before he is brought down by Jaden Houston, junior linebacker for BC. You got Bennett Conaway, a junior, in there at defensive end. Here's the snap low dug out by Van Diver. He's going to get flushed out of the pocket here to his left. Wind up and throw, tipped in the air. Nice play underneath. Who was it? Got the tucked under jersey. I'm going to say 22.
You can't get your first action of the year and have your jersey tucked up, so we can't call you out. It's either 22 or 32.
It's not Wyatt Easterbrook, so we'll go with 32, of which there isn't one. So
there we go.
Untuck the jersey, and we can tell you who it is.
But he made a great play.
Could be also be 33, Cole Schumann. I don't know. Here's the snap, a little quick flare route in the right flat. Makes a man miss is Williams.
Oh, good big hit.
And the ball came out. No, they're going to say he was down.
Still, who is that?
Tackle was
33.
made. That's Cole Schumann.
With his jersey not tucked.
Yeah, he brought the stacked firewood on that one.
That was a big hit.
You got Robert Leonard out there at safety. He has gotten a lot of action as the holder
And
tonight.
this is so valuable for these guys, Kevin. Getting out here in front of the BC fans, Friday night lights, just getting this first action is huge.
Ty McCurry, senior defensive tackle in there. That ball is going to be
That's a catch.
caught it. Boy, I thought it skipped over there. That looked pretty obvious.
I think he got those elbows under it.
Danny Britt saying no. No, incomplete.
Other official's going to come in.
It's going to be 4th down. Yeah, I thought that pretty plainly skipped over there.
Listen, you got those elbows tucked.
I got the eagle eyes up here. Never doubt. Just because I don't know the difference between 4 and 2 and 27 and 32. Never mind. I can tell if the ball skipped or not.
Kevin, some big, good-looking kids coming out here with this young unit. That's not the JV team you want to play.
No. It's Rasheem Jackson, 23, the guy we couldn't see.
Another
incomplete.
drop.
And he had the pressure that time by Bennett Conaway.
Still, I mean, that's a perfect pass right into his receiver's hand, and that's the 5th or 6th just wide open drop on the night.
How about that second unit getting off the field
here? That's right. Keeping the second half shutout going.
Connor Burnett, 65.
Now, who do we see coming on offense?
Let's see if they go second unit on offense.
I can't imagine 3-score lead, 3:41 to go.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the end of the night for Stephen Cannon. It looks like they're going to go Omari Burse, sophomore quarterback.
You say that.
I saw him hang out. Danny Britt wants a timeout, and I think that's Danny Britt kind of radioing up saying, hey, we're going second unit here.
Yeah.
And you see A.J. DePhillips pointing at somebody out of the press box like, what are you doing?
I think so. Omari, like, brother, you got to get in there.
Like, I want you to play, but you got to go get the game.
Or I think he's telling the first team units, hey, you guys aren't done yet. See, look, Marius Burris is down there warming up now, just now getting the snaps. I think maybe they put him in there with the first team-o.
I see he's back here taking quick snaps.
From the starting center.
I'm trying to look and see. Usually Stephen Cannon's kind of on the back side of that huddle talking to one of the coaches. I don't see him.
Coach Levi Edwards right there has his hand on his shoulder. Could be wrong.
Yeah, there comes Omari. Yeah, they're going to put him in the ball game.
Yeah, I just need a couple snaps.
And that's one of those where maybe he wasn't ready to go in the game.
So yeah,
first team offense except for him.
Yeah.
And that's good.
I think that's great. I think there's a couple switches on the offensive line too. Potentially at left tackle, left guard, or there's going to go 2 tackles. Yeah. Heavy formation.
So out of the wing tee, here's Omari Burse. Oh, boy, they fumbled the football. And did he get it back?
Nope.
No, he didn't.
That's unfortunate.
And that's not what you want to see. So you get your backup a snap, and he fumbles it. And that looked like miscommunication all the way around because he went for the buck sweep, and there was nobody there.
Yeah, and you never even really had that football.
So now the second team defense is going to have to get back out there.
And I'm loving the background music from the band. Whoever the band director is doing a great job because this kind of just dulcet tones, a lot of bass.
What's with all the downer music tonight?
Yeah, that's why.
Now we're picking it up.
Yeah, because Burke's coming back out there. That's a good band right there.
36-14 our score.
Man, that hurts. Like we were talking about this earlier. It's so hard to be ready as a backup, but you're up 3 scores, 3 minutes to go, and you're the next guy up.
They're going to give you reps to run your offense.
You mentally got to be ready.
1st and 10 for Burke from the Cadet 28 after the fumble. They're still playing the first unit. Whole second unit defense out there for BC. Here's the snap. Van Diver looking. Going to wind up, go towards the end zone. Marquis Williams knocks it away. Great defense. Well, he was running stride for stride with the Bears receiver. I believe that was Kelvon Scott.
I'll say this. Don't get fancy when you put the second team unit in there. They're just running man coverage there and just let their guys run. And that's a great job. One-on-one coverage, not getting into the body of the receiver, getting his head back around to look at the ball, locating it and swatting it away. That's your 3rd, 4th corner. You're feeling pretty good about yourself.
I know Marquis plays a lot with the first unit too. But
right.
He's probably the most experienced guy out there on defense. Twins either side here for the Bears. Here's the snap. Oh, a bad snap picked up by the running back Williams, and he's going to get popped. And he's going to get dropped after a gain of about 2 by Rasheem Jackson, sophomore linebacker.
I'll say this backup unit is popping.
Hey, if you're going to get out there,
hit somebody.
Bring the stacked firewood, right? Hit somebody. And we'll have the stacked firewood defensive player of the game.
I think I got a pretty good idea.
And we're also going to have the Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game when it's all said and done. I think we both have a pretty good idea who that young man's going to be. Had a couple of touchdowns in the first half, some big catches. Here's Van Diver on 3rd and 10. Going to throw it to the end zone. Jump ball. Intercepted over in the far corner. Running it out at the 20, 25, 30. Up the far sideline, 40, 45, 50.
He's gone.
45-40, going to take it to the house, and he is gone for a touchdown. Who got that football? 100-yard interception return. I'm trying to see who it was on the far side of the field.
I think it's the tucked uniform.
Who is that, 27? Jerron Mallard, is that who it was? Was he out there? It was Mallard out there on defense. 100-yard pick six.
And he went up there and got that ball in the end zone, a little fade route to the back, but he out-jumped a receiver who's about a foot taller than him.
Then you saw the speed up the
I
sideline.
mean, you knew he was gone as soon as he got ahead of steam, and that was outstanding.
I don't know how they calculate it in high school football, but I'm going to assume that ties the BC record for the longest ever interception return. Connor Ferguson, considering you can't be longer than 100 yards, sometimes they don't count the yards in the end zone.
All I'm saying is if I'm that backup defensive unit, I'm looking at my guys out of the first team and saying, hey, boys, y'all gave up 14. We got to stop, and we got to pick 6, 100 yards. What's happening?
43-14, BC way out in front. Yeah,
with your chest poked out at school for the rest.
I was going to say, I think Ron Mallard's going to have the big man on campus going on Monday.
That's when you're talking about 30 years from now.
He went up and got it, and then once he got to the 10, you knew there was nobody that was going to slow him down. They didn't have the angle. It was a lot of offensive linemen out there.
That's one of those ones where after he's had a very long, successful football career, and he's a very successful business person, talking to a client like, oh, this is hard, but not as hard as that one time. In high school, varsity football, I went up and got one and took it 100 yards, pick 6.
End zone to end zone.
That's right.
2:36 to go in the ball game. Connor Ferguson to kick it off yet again.
And then the people are going to be like, no, you didn't. And he's going to be like, let me pull this huddle tape.
Want to check tape?
Yeah.
Connor Ferguson to kick this one out to Skidaway. As he goes right to left. No, kind of hangs this one up a little bit. It's going to come down inside the 6 at the 5. Going to be picked up there, and Jack Gannon and a host of others going to bring him down at about the 12, 13-yard line. That's not Jack Gannon. That is, I want to give credit where credit's due, that is Michael Hogan, senior, on the kick coverage. Made a great tackle in the open field.
That was a big play.
So, again, you love it when these guys who bust hump at practice all week kind of get in there and they're making the most of their opportunity.
You think they got some oxygen on the sideline? That was a 100-yard.
Is he back out there?
Yeah, that's a 100-yard full effort sprint.
Well, ask Danny Britt about that. Say, hey, your guy goes a hundo and you put him right back out there on defense.
Listen.
Here's the give, and inside BC reads it well.
And he gets it on the tackle.
2 or 3. Also in there, number 76, Ty McCurry, a senior. And I think now Franklin Stevens like, let's just get to the house.
Yeah, get out without any injuries here now. But man, Burke, it's a really good football team, and I think, Kevin, they were 4 or 5 drops. If you take half of those and turn those into completions, those are drive extending plays and probably a lot closer football game towards the end here if they're able to do that. But
yeah, final score is not indicative of how well they played, but also give
yeah.
BC credit. They've been firing on all cylinders tonight, especially offensively. Here's a little straight inside give, BC all over that. Maybe a yard close to the 20.
Oh, this young defense, man.
That was, I think, Connor Burnett in there on the tackle. So you're getting a lot of playing time. 2-3 good series here for this second unit defense.
And it's so valuable, man. When next year, when these guys are fighting for starting spots, and hopefully you get a few more chances like this year, but when you're fighting for those starting job and you actually get out there, it's not your first time. You have experience.
So 3rd down and 5, 1:08. And Burke going to give it straight ahead, and BC there to gang tackle. Very close. He's going to be about a yard short. It'll be 4th and 1. I don't know that Franklin Stevens wants to give him the football back, but you might as well go for it. And then if you don't get it, I'm sure Danny Britt, old Georgia Southern buddy's probably going to just take a knee.
No, I think they're going to go ahead and give him the first down so they can run a couple more plays and get out of here.
A.J. DePhillips packing up the bag
And
next
he had
to
a
us.
great day, man. I think
He's already been in the bag. I don't know why he's going into the bag.
I think last week we really saw this team get comfortable and him kind of figure out where the plays are for Stephen Cannon. And this week I think we saw that on full display.
So under center, here's Van Diver, clock running. And they'll go straight ahead, fullback dive. That's going to be 7-8 yards before BC is able to bring him down. And I don't know if they're going to take another snap.
I was about to say they don't have to.
Let's see if Franklin Stevens said Gus go line up. Saw him point to his team. BC going to line up. And Christian, that's going to do it. I don't think they're going to take another snap.
Yeah, just outstanding football game on both sides. A couple of mistakes from Burke really kept them from turning this into a true shootout. But I think both of these teams can come out of this one with their heads held high. But, man, how big is it for BC to come into this one, get a win at home, and now you go into that double bye week off a win with that positive momentum.
Danny Britt runs straight across. He and Franklin Stevens share a moment as BC and Burke County shake hands. 43-14, your final. Christian Gokel and the complete performance I think we expected. I think everybody knew was inside there of that BC uniform, and they delivered it tonight. And a shutout the second half of Burke County, a pick 6 with your second unit, just an all-around great performance.
Yeah, Kevin, and again, I think the adjustments coming into the second half were more so corrections. Just, hey, we're going to come out, we're going to run our scheme, we're going to run our personnel. Let's do it correctly now, and correctly just meant playing your gaps, being disciplined, not shooting too far upfield, and making tackles. And I think BC did a lot better job of that in the second half. Now, you got some mistakes to correct. You were kind of shifting when you didn't need to be. You were letting guys run free in man coverage. There's definitely some corrections coming out of this one, but just a much more positive performance for the Cadets.
Cadets with the big win tonight, win number 1 on the season. They go into an off week as well. That'll lead us to our attorney, Jonathan Dunn, post-game show. Led by attorney Jonathan Dunn, the firm has earned a well-respected reputation as fierce litigators committed to providing exceptional legal representation to our clients. With over 20 years of experience in the legal field, attorney Jonathan Dunn has honed his skills and expertise to cater to a wide range of legal needs. Their team is driven by the core values of integrity, compassion, and relentless dedication to our clients' best interests. We're coming right back. Danny Britt going to join us on the post-game show. Also, our Cool Vibes player of the game and our Stacked Firewood defensive player of the game. All that and more coming up here on WatchBCSports.com.
The honor, the heritage, the tradition of excellence. The home for Benedictine Cadets football is WatchBCSports.com. All the games, play-by-play, and in-depth analysis. Home of the Danny Britt Show. Be a part of the action as your Benedictine Cadets take the field in their quest for yet another championship. On the official home of the Cadets, WatchBCSports.com. And look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WatchBC Sports.
You know, Christian, after a day of the hottest sports in town, sometimes you just gotta unwind.
Yeah, Kevin, and the perfect place to do it, Cool Vibes Pizza and Wings.
That's because Cool Vibes offers delicious pizza, wings, sandwiches, and salads, all with a Jamaican Caribbean island twist.
And the atmosphere is 100% kicked back. No worries, man.
Plus, they're the home of the Oxtail Pizza.
Cool Vibes Pizza, 4501 Montgomery Street, Savannah. That's coolvibespizza.com. Cool with a K.
Come on and unwind at Cool Vibes.
At Benedictine alumni-owned Stacked Firewood Delivery, we're all about the best premium firewood, conveniently delivered in manageable stacks at the right price. We're talking kiln-dried, pest-free firewood. You see, our custom stack is equal to about 10 fires. Choose oak, cherry, hickory, or mixed hardwoods. Stacked Firewood Delivery. Go to stackedwood.com. That's stackedwood.com.
Welcome back. It is our attorney Jonathan Dunn post-game show. Christian Gokel, big win number 1 for BC. Danny Britt down there talking to his team right now. We'll talk with Coach coming up in just a little bit. But offensively, whole new team from 2 weeks ago. Last week, you saw them kind of come out and feel themselves. Tonight, it was, when it went bad, it was your own doing. 2 fumbles tonight that you lost. Bad snap.
Sure.
Probably a bad read with the second unit for fumble number 2. That was about it as far as things that went bad. Stephen Cannon continues to show elusiveness. Josh Washington tonight, 2 touchdown passes caught. Another big third down catch for a first down there in the third quarter. He stepped up in a big way. That takes pressure off of Bubba and Mekhi Williams to make plays. You're finding guys each week, And I just thought from start to finish, offensively, defensively, that was as good as it's been here in 2024.
Well, first off, let's just go ahead and just get it off your back. The losing streak is over at 3 games. You get the first one in 2024 here, and it feels good. I think that's the biggest thing. It doesn't matter if it was 43-14 or 43-41. You get out of here with a victory, and that is huge going into the bye week. Now, there's a lot of things to correct, but I think more importantly, there's a lot of positives to take away from this one. Offensively, Stephen Cannon's a baller. Like we saw that tonight. In the face of pressure, he was able to slide up in the pocket, keep his eyes downfield, and deliver some strikes. And you mentioned it, Josh Washington stepping up as that second receiver. Bubba Frazier, not a huge game tonight. Still, big game for most people, but not a huge game tonight by his standards. It's because they were bracketing him, keeping guys over top of him. So somebody's going to be open, and it was Josh Washington a lot tonight. And what's so big, and you hear coaches preach this all the time, offensive coordinator can draw it up. Offensive line can block it up. Quarterback can deliver the strike. Sometimes you need a running back or a wide receiver or a tight end to make a play. And it's so big. If you catch the ball at 5 yards and get tackled at 5 yards, fine. But if you can catch the ball at 5 yards and turn that into 15, 20 touchdown, that keeps you on the field, and that makes the offense go from good to really, really lethal. We've seen so many players come through BC that have been able to do that in the past. I think now you're starting to see you got 3 or 4 of them on this offense.
And we've talked about it for years in covering BC. What makes them so tough is that you got to cover 4 and 5 guys, and most people can't do that at the high school level. It's hard enough, college, pros, whatever. You have the best of best, but in high school, if you're asking me, I got to cover a jet sweep and I got to cover 4 guys who can beat me over the top and across the middle. You just don't have guys that can do that. And I thought this was the first time BC was able to find those guys in the holes and really expose holes in the defense.
Yeah, we talked about this on the way up here, man. It's just you can only cover so much of the field if you're a defense, and you have to choose. You're like, okay, where do I think they're the best? I'm going to try to take that away and force them to beat me where they're uncomfortable. Unfortunately, I think what Burke chose tonight was we're going to cover over the top, and PC just ate them alive underneath, especially from like the hashes out. It was just in the flats. We talked about it. That sequence at the end of the first half, it was the same play, just quick hook, just to the outside on the right. Stephen Cannon took the snap and was just throwing it without thinking about it because he knew it was going to be there because their coverage didn't change. And eventually you throw it to Mekhi Williams there at the end. He breaks a tackle and scores a touchdown. So you've got guys on offense who can be a threat. And I know we're quote-unquote concerned about the run game right now. I just think that's how teams are approaching playing BC is.
They better change.
Yeah, I was going to say it's the approach right now is we're going to stack 5-6 guys in when they go spread and still try to stop the run and try to go one-on-one on the outside. If you play drop coverage, Stephen Cannon's going to cook you. And then if you try to go one-on-one, cover 2, we saw the split down the middle for the touchdown to Josh Washington in the game. It's just it's so hard if you're going to leave 2 linebackers plus 4 down linemen and just leave 5 guys back in coverage. That's going to be really hard to defend BC. You kind of have to do what we've seen some other teams do in the Buford and the Raven Gap, where it's you have to be able to get pressure with your front 4, and you have to be able to stop the ball with the front 4. If you can do that, it's really hard to beat you. But again, I thought this team came out, looked at what the defense was giving them, and AJ Phillips didn't try to bang his head against the wall. It wasn't just, I'm going to keep handing it off 2 yards in a cloud of dust. It's like, well, I got Stephen Cannon and about 5-6 wide receivers deep that can cook you. We're going to go to work.
And again, if there's any area concern, Third Scroggins left a game late. Obviously, you're going into a lot of time off, so some time to get that healthy. We'll talk to Coach Britt coming up in just a little bit about that, and certainly entering into a lot of off time, if you will, for BC as well. But Christian, this time of the postgame show, as we await on Coach Britt, let's get to our Stacked Firewood Defensive Player of the Game, and this is a defensive unit that really stepped up as the game went on, kind of reminiscent of last week. BC scored first. Wayne came right down the field, or Burke came right down the field and scored.
Sure.
And so really after the first series, you only gave up 7 points the rest of the game. So who's our Stacked Firewood Defensive Player of the Game?
I think there's a couple guys you give it to. Obviously, you had the pick 6 there at the end. That was fun. But from the first snap through basically the end of the game, I thought Cam Cody was a force. And he is the spear point of this defense. And the defense is going to go by how he plays. And I thought there was a few times you saw him truly be a dominant force on that defensive line. Having an edge rusher is great, and Third Scroggins is going to make a lot of money, both at the college level and going on into the NFL level. I know that's weird to say now, but it's just the case. He's that good, and it goes quarterback, guy who can protect quarterback, and then guy who sacks quarterback are the ones who make the most money in the NFL. But having a nose tackle at every level of football who can just eat up 2-3 guys at a time frees you up to do so much. We talked about numbers over and over and over again, just the numbers game. Can you win the matchup of the numbers game? It's pretty simple math. They've got 5 offensive linemen. You go 4 down linemen, and one of your 4 is taking up 3 of theirs. That's going to leave some other guys free to do some damage. And I thought Cam Cody ate them alive tonight. And when they tried to single him up, you saw the flash. It was just crushing swim moves, and he was grabbing the quarterback, slinging him to the ground. So for me, I think very clearly big number 55.
Cam Cody, our Stacked Firewood defensive player of the game. And now, Christian, as we do every week as well, our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game. I know there was a number of guys when you put up 43 points you could give it to. But who are we going with this week for our Cool Vibes Pizza player of the game?
Listen, you come out, you score 2 big touchdowns through the air. You have a bunch of other big-time receptions. You got the white skull cap going on. You're wearing number 7. Is it better to be anybody on earth right now than Mr. Washington?
There you go.
I mean, he had a heck of a night. Looks good at number 7. Was cooking people. Made some big time plays and kind of established himself as that option 1B. I think from Bubba Frazier. So for me, I know Stephen Cannon had to deliver him the ball, and he's probably again 1B right there in terms of who would be the Cool Vibes player of the game. But Josh Washington showed up in a big, big way tonight.
Yeah, big coming out performance for him tonight as well. We'll step aside. We'll chat with Danny Britt when we come back on the Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show here on WatchBCSports.com.
Ace Hardware is celebrating 100 years of helpful, and Rinkin Ace Hardware is your locally owned hometown Ace Hardware at 591 South Columbia Avenue in Rinkin, Georgia. From A to Z, they've got it all to help you get things done. Rinkin Ace Hardware is a proud BC sponsor.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Looking for authentic, traditional Southern cuisine for your next special event, reunion, wedding, or celebration in Savannah? For over 45 years, Barnes Restaurant is the most experienced, trusted caterer in all of Savannah. Groups 50 to 5,000. No event too big or small. Barnes does it all. Online at barnesrestaurant.com.
Oh, there he is.
Welcome back to our Attorney Jonathan Dunn postgame show here as we are joined by Coach Danny Britt. And Coach, win number 1. Let's just start right there. It took a couple of weeks, but you got it, and now you're ready to move forward, obviously.
Yeah, definitely proud of that. And you know, here's the thing: no matter who you're playing, and we played 2 top 100 national teams to go 0-2, but it starts creeping in a little bit. Like, can we win? How do we win? And you could see that a little bit in us. So, I'm glad to get that kind of under our belt, and, the fact that we're a very good football team. We just got to continue to show it and continue to improve.
I think y'all showed it tonight offensively outside of a couple of fumbles, both one from your second team and one down there in the goal line. I mean, it was pretty good for you guys tonight.
I thought so. We've got to do a little better in run blocking so we can set some things up a little better because, just when they know it's a pass, it just makes it a lot harder to pass pro. So we got to do some things better with that, but I felt really good. I thought Steven was on fire, was spinning it, and then Josh did great, and a lot of the receivers really did well.
I'll say, talk about that. Then we'll look at some of the other aspects, but the interior run game through 3 weeks. I know you said, look, Stanley's learned the position. He's a fast runner. He's running with power. How do you get that kind of part of your game on track?
I think one, we just continue to work on it, and that's what we got to do. But we may have to start doing, schematically doing a few things a little bit differently than what we're doing right now. We'll talk about it as a coaching staff, and working on that run game one way or another. We got to be able to run the ball a little bit more than what we're doing.
Offensively, though, passing the ball, it looked really good. We were impressed. You said Steven's got some mobility, and Christian said, he goes, I don't know if some of these sacks he got out of tonight, if Luke's getting out of some of those, because there were some plays where he just bought time, was able to get out of sacks. And just talk about his progression in 3 weeks, kind of what we've seen.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's really just done a great job. I thought he did a really good job in the scrimmage. And, of course, that was a little different because they weren't live. Absolutely ran for his life in the first game. And then the next game we talked to him and we watched the film and we showed him, hey, take those 6-7 yards right there. He obviously did that last week. He's just getting better and better. And it's just amazing. He's doing a great job.
And again, we mentioned those wide receivers. I know a lot of times in years past, you talk about, hey, no matter who we have, we need guy number 2 or guy number 3 to take the pressure off because everybody knows you want to get it to certain guys. Josh Washington tonight, though, 2 big touchdowns, a huge third down catch tonight as well. Had some opportunities where he was open to make some more plays. Talk to his game and kind of that development of a viable third or fourth option in the pass game.
Yeah, we definitely have a number of guys that can do it, Josh. We were waiting on that to happen. He came to us and then had a hamstring issue, so it kind of hampered him all summer. First time he really started doing anything is on our 7-on-7 when we went to Alabama, and he was kind of limited there. And you could tell it just – so it's been a slow progression with him, and I'm finally glad that he's showing what he can do, and that is something he can do really well. He can catch it and run with it.
On the defensive side of the ball tonight, Christian talked about the first half. You guys were getting moved around, maybe kept them out of the end zone more than maybe they could have been in there, but getting moved around a little bit. Second half, y'all made the adjustment and shut them out.
Yeah, they were moving us a little bit, and I think they had us a little off balance some, and I don't know. I'm going to really have to go look at it. We were missing some tackles too. So we're going to have to work on that. I think maybe we were playing a little tired or something that first half, but we came out and did a better job in the second half and of shutting things down.
I'm going to say, speaking of that, how about your second unit coming out there, getting off the field once, a pick six, and that was pretty much your straight second defensive unit against their ones, going out there making plays.
They did. They went out and we put them out there, and they were fresh, so that always helps. They were excited. So I thought they did a good job. They were playing really hard and fast, and, of course, the other team was tired, and so they did a good job with it. And then, obviously, Mallard with the pick six he may be almost as fast as Bubba. We got to find a way to get him the ball more.
Defensively, third, is he all right? I know took a hit maybe late in that game. Is he going to be all right?
They pulled him. I don't think he would have had to come out, but we pulled him because obviously we were winning, and they're going to check him out. I think it's just that sprained elbow, and hopefully, we've got 2 weeks now to heal up, so hopefully we'll get that taken care of, get him healed up, and he'll be back ready to roll.
And Coach, finally, as far as tonight's game is concerned, we talk about it a lot, but I don't think people appreciate kind of the embarrassment of riches you guys have had in the special teams. Connor Ferguson, a 50-yarder tonight, touchbacks left and right, and probably something that gets overlooked with the accuracy he's picked up with on his field goals is 40, 50 yards a punt tonight for you. People just don't have that in high school football.
No, we don't. And Connor has worked on his craft since he was in 7th grade and just really done an incredible job of getting himself better. Coach Parker's been working with him too, and then that is amazing when we can put it on the 50 and or from 50 yards out and say, hey, kick the field goal, and he nails it. So and the punts are unbelievable. It's just something. It's special, really, and it's great for us, and makes me look good as a special teams coordinator, doesn't it?
That guy running the special teams really doing a great job, right?
Man, I'm teaching him up.
Well, Coach, you got an off week coming up, prolonged off week, if you will, so kind of early in the season, another non-region game before you get into region play. How do you kind of spend that time at this stage of the game? What's been an unorthodox first 3 weeks, kind of?
It has been, and we're tired. I just said the kids are tired. It's really weird because it's August 29th, August 30th, and it seems like it's late September. But we've played 3 games in a scrimmage, which was against Camden. So it's like 4 games at this point. We've traveled, big time up to Buford, and we're tired. School started August 1,
right.
So it feels we need a break. So we're taking the next 4 days off completely. And then Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. workouts is the next time we come together. So we're going to do that first, get them some rest, we need to all get away from each other a little bit. You know how it gets. Everybody starts getting on each other's nerves. And then we'll get some just basic fundamental stuff and then put a lot of time into the JV and freshmen. And then same thing again, the next week, we'll just go some basic fundamental, stuff. We go back to, individual and stuff without killing them, working them too much, and then put a lot of time into the freshman and JV units.
Coach, finally college football back in a big way tomorrow, and that means BC guys are playing all over the place.
Yes,
Zaquan was playing last night for Minnesota. I heard you say on the Danny Britt show you're going up to Boise State, Georgia Southern. Gavin Stewart's got the kicking job there for the Eagles. Bryce is at running back spot, but chance to see BC folks on Saturdays a lot.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm going to go. Trayvon Locke's there, D lineman. Bryce, hopefully have a shot. Gavin definitely be kicking. So I'm excited to go back to my place and watch them. And then, Jakeem Harris was starting at safety last night too. Had a great game actually. So that was awesome. And, just watching these kids play all over the place is amazing. And of course we all love college football, man. That's the most exciting thing in the world, to get up after a win on Friday night and turn on game day and, drink my coffee, flip my laptop up and start, getting the stats together, man. There's nothing better.
Statesburg is going to be rocking with Boise State coming into town. Coach, congratulations on the win. Enjoy the off time. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Danny Britt joining us here in the post-game show as Cadets get their first win, 43-14 over Burke County tonight. And Christian, all-around performance. As he said, even the second unit defensive guys got in there and made plays. And that the scoreboard kind of tells the tale.
Coach, if I'm the second team defense, I'm talking smack to that first team defense. 3 shutout drives and a pick 6. Yeah, I'm walking out with my chest poked out. So, to your point, I think some great experience there for those guys, and just kind of the cherry on top of what was an outstanding performance.
Kind of interesting to hear him say, he goes, as a football team, I think we're a little tired, but you've also played 3 physically, really count the scrimmage, even though some of it wasn't as full live, 3 physically imposing football games. I mean, Burke County's coming out running straight up power run most of the night. Buford is big.
Sure.
Raven Gap was big. You've played 3 tough football games to start the season.
And Burke County is going to win a lot of football games. They're going to be a force in their region. So this is a really quality win. And I agree with them. You had a scheduled bye week for that reason. You had 3 scrimmages, or you had scrimmage and then 3 games against really, really good football teams. You need this bye week coming up. My question, and I'm going to, obviously, we'll try to get to the bottom of it, but how do you then approach the next week? Do you take Monday, Tuesday off maybe? It's interesting. Or do you try to do the Georgia approach and some of the other big-time college approach where you have like a Bloody Tuesday where it's full pads and you're going to work because you're trying to keep them in that rhythm? So I'm curious. Maybe you just go 1v1s and you're playing 11 on 11 and just going live a few days just to keep that kind of sense about it. But it's going to be good for the legs, and I think maybe in the end of the season it might end up being a blessing because it was going to be a heck of a trip up to Ohio and back, and then diving in, not quite into region play, but then diving into region play a week after that. Following a Westminster team that's really good, as we know, that'll be playing here at Memorial Stadium. So maybe it's a blessing in disguise. You get 2 weeks off, get those legs rested, and just take full advantage of that. And then kind of into that second week, you really start ramping it back up, getting everybody back into the flow of it. But one way or another, you have 2 weeks off. We're just going to see how they figure it out.
And don't forget, next Thursday, Christian Gokel will be right back at Bowtie Barbecue for the Danny Britt Show. They're still talking BC football on Thursday afternoons at lunch. Go out there and have a great bite to eat and join in on the fun.
I still have not had a fan come up yet and try to give Coach Britt a correction. I don't know if he's just put the fear of God in everybody and they don't want to come up and yell at.
We're taking your suggestions for plays.
I want to know what your 3rd and 7 play call is and what Coach Britt should be doing better. So go down to Bowtie Barbecue and come let us know.
That's going to do it for us. BC 43-14. Thanks for watching. WatchBCSports.com.